Welcome to Set Sports for match 11 of the Under-19 ACL tournament in Melbourne at the Lindale Cricket Club, and second last of the pool matches, if you like. And this is a dead rubber, but an opportunity for, well, not a dead rubber for these teams, but a dead rubber in regard to finals, an opportunity for one of the Afghan Leopards or the Sydney Kangaroos to open their account. And let's get out into the middle to Suhas for the coin toss with the two captains.
It's cloudy with a chance of cricket balls here in Melbourne, and it's going to be the Kangaroos taking on the Afghan Leopards. The skippers are here for the toss. The skipper of Kangaroos is Saeem. Alongside him is Atal, the captain of Afghan Leopards. And to adjudicate the toss, we have Vivek and Ash, our match officials. Let the coin go up now. Heads is the call from Saeem. What is it, Vivek?
It's head.
Head it is. If you could tell us, why would you want to bat first as well?
It looks like a good wicket, so we're going to put up a good score, try and put up a good score, and then try and defend that. So, yeah.
Did you see the first game? Did you take cues of what the surface is doing?
Yeah, first game they were trying to chase it down, so it was a bit harder at the end. And it's turning a bit, so we'll see how we go.
And both the teams are playing for pride. Having said that, it's a team that you've also learned a lot about. How has your experience been as a captain in ACL Under-19 with so much talent around?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Unfortunately, we can't make it, but we're going to play for pride. We'll try and win this game and just finish it off strong.
Any changes in the side?
That's all. No, nothing. We'll play with the same team.
Give us a good game, side.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Dan, and you want the toss?
We would have also liked to bat first. Same thing, just put up a big total and defend it, but unfortunately we lost. And we don't really mind batting or bowling, so we would have batted first as well.
Any changes in the side for the final one?
No, the same team pretty much.
Now, having said that, it's also been
a tournament that's been a big learning curve for you. How has it been for you personally in terms of understanding the ball, sharing and the memories that you feel?
It was a good fun tournament. All the boys came together pretty well. We had fun, we learned a lot, just here and there. Hopefully next year be stronger. We've got a lot to learn from, and hopefully be better next year.
And finally, is there that you want to restrict your
opposition?
Probably anything under 130, 120, can easily catch up to. So we'll try to defend them to 130, I reckon. That would be a good score.
130. Alright, give us a good game, Atal. So the news from the centre, it's the Kangaroos who won the toss and they want to be batting first.
Thank you, Suhas. So, as he said, Sydney Kangaroos batting first after winning the toss, the third time Grant O'Hara, that the Kangaroos will bat first in the tournament. Did you think, after their bowling displays in defending totals, have been a bit disappointing, that they might have maybe changed it around if they won the toss?
Yeah. Why not try something new, something different? They obviously feel like they've got an advantage by taking that decision. But yeah, looking forward to this game. A couple of young sides that have shown a little bit of fight and a little bit of promise, but just sort of not able to pull off the wins that they wanted at this point in time.
Azan Saeed outstanding yesterday in a total of 115. That was where the innings fell apart. They needed to get him more on strike because he looked very likely to keep it pushing along to 120, 130. I think in the end, no matter what they got, the Indian Tigers were always going to chase that down, but it would have been nice if they had got a few more. So he's obviously an important member of their side. It's good to see Lockman Tolakul, who was ill yesterday, obviously with the heat, and Ramadan as well. His energy levels were very, very low. He is lining up today, which is good news. And obviously with the Afghan Leopards, we saw Mishra make a great half-century in the opening day of the tournament. He's a very good player. We know SK, Suez Khan's handy as well. So, as you said, both teams have got some pretty handy players. The Leopards have been a little bit more competitive with both bat and ball, and I think for the Kangaroos, they've just got to work a bit harder on their fielding and on their bowling.
Yeah, we mentioned game management a few times, and there was an opportunity for some batters to rotate the strike and get the player in form on strike more often, and I think that would have allowed them to at least score 20 or 30 more runs, which may have been the difference between winning and losing. So hopefully they've gone down. What'll be good to watch will be what they've gone away, they've reflected on, and where they think they can make their improvements, and then come out here and put that into practice and see if they can actually achieve those improvements that they're looking for.
It will be an interesting game. I mean, when you get a situation of a dead rubber, it's interesting what the psyche is, no matter what level of cricket, no matter what level of sport, that the teams are at in regard to playing that game. But then again, we are competitive beasts. We do want to win. We'd love to find a way to win, and you'd hate to end a tournament without a win like the Kiwi Warriors have. And again, congratulations to you, Grant. I think you've found some friends and people that really like you. You've had a good chat to most of the Kiwi Warriors boys and given them a pat in the back. They were pretty competitive. They just probably didn't make enough runs with the bat.
Yeah, really like the way they went and organised their cricket. They played it in a very good spirit. There's a lot of smiles on faces. They were super competitive all the way through. So let's hope that we can see the same from these two teams.
So Raza and Bra are going to open the batting, and same Raza as the captain, and Damon Bra, the only other player to get into double figures yesterday in that loss. Fine half century made by Saeed, so a lot will rest on his shoulders, but he needs more support. Azan Saeed made a few changes to their side, but they've still got a lot of fast bowlers. You wonder whether they might have brought a couple, not knowing all their players all that well, Grant, but I think they probably needed to change around their bowling attack too, and if they've got some spinners in the lineup or in the squad, bring them in. A lot of sameness about the attack. Fast bowlers with long run-ups.
So, yeah, we're going to see the opening Suze Khan coming in, left armour, coming in from the northern end of the ground.
That's right, and there's a slip in place, Mishra.
So, going on to the attack.
And we've also got a point. We've got an extra cover, short cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. Squarish fine leg, third man. Here he is, SK, and straight away underneath the bat, not moving his feet. Trying to maybe telegraph that and get some runs. Damon Bra, none for one in the opening over. It's a bit more pleasant than it was, a little bit overcast this morning, but I've always said that the cloud cover was high and we've had a little bit of sun peeking through over the last 20 minutes or so it's quite pleasant. When the sun does come out, it's even quite warm. SK again, it's on the leg stump. Wonder if there was some bat there. Might have, I reckon, been some bat. Sure, I heard some sound, a woody sound, and that has been confirmed. So, first run off the bat. And it's none for two.
So I'd say Khan's just going to, he's going to look for some consistency early on. Bowl to his field, which is predominantly offside. The two players out are at third man and fine leg.
SK again, bouncing in, dropped into the onside. Bit keen for a run was Bra. He sent back, and it was good that he was sent back because the return hit from mid-wicket.
So look at the replay. Mid-wicket comes in, picks up, throwing the one motion. Nice throw.
Semi-finalists have been decided. Not the order yet, though. SK in again, and it's down the leg side. I've got a feeling it's come off a part of the apparel, and it's leg by. So it's come off the shirt or come off the thigh pad, but it was an astray delivery from SK. But they all count runs early days like this for Raza. None for five. Suets Khan, or SK in the back of his shirt. And driving, or attempting to drive, but not quite getting there. There's Bra. Was it Mohammed Kashif? I've got Mohammed Kashif at number 33. We'll just confirm that.
It's Sam Ruzza on our screen.
At the non-strikers end, I think. Oh, playing on, Nelly. Just able to play it into his pads. But that was good bowling by SK. Generally a good opening over. He's been a handy member of this side. With both bat and ball. Good left armour. Giving his team a good start right throughout the whole tournament. The Afghan Leopards.
It's good to see that we had two Afghanistan teams this year.
This indicates how big the game is.
Their national team is starting to go forward in leaps and bounds, isn't it? So cricket's obviously going well over in Afghanistan.
Well, they've gone past Bangladesh, I think. Bangladesh have had the same players. I mean, they've been an okay team for a long time, but they really haven't had a lot of development from within in regard to younger players coming through. Guys who've played a lot of cricket for a long time have sort of led that team. They need a bit of a refresh. Hopefully that'll come. Saidi from the southern end, and the first ball's a full toss, and first slip and wicketkeeper collide in trying to stop it. Luckily, the two men, as Grant said, still the men out. Third man, a fine leg, are able to cut it off before it goes to the boundary. It is none for 7 in the second.
Operating with the first slip at the moment. Another one of these big long run-ups, Dan.
Yes, but he gets through his over a bit quicker. Saidi. And wide of the off stump, and it's not called a wide. The batter hung the bat out to dry, and he glares at the umpire. Don't glare at him. He's made his decision. It's in the scorecard. We move on. What do you think, Grant?
It's a good one. Pitch. It's the guideline.
Right over the top of it. And then it swung late.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, as long as he's consistent. Same for both teams. All good.
The screen says Bra on strike with Sam Raza. Here's Saidi working away again. And in the air, he's got a top edge. You'd think this will be taken. Calling for it is the captain, Mangal, and he's dropped it. He had it all to himself. He said to the fielder at mid-on, I've got it. I'm at mid-off. I'll take the catch, and he wasn't able to hang on to it. Bad miss.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed with that. Had a very good line on it.
Should have been a wicket down. They're not. Should have, could have, would have. Again, not moving his feet to the next delivery. This one's called a wide. And there wasn't that discernible swing. I thought again it might have just been over the line. What do you think, Grant?
Yeah, I do think it was a bit wider than the one previous, and that the umpires now had a side and gone, yep, I think that one was wide.
But again, if he moves his feet to the pitch, can he get bat on that? An uppercut or even a cut, it would be a dangerous shot over point.
It's the guidelines there, Dan, that the umpire goes by. As long as he's not moving and shuffling around the crease. Good shot.
Great shot by the Kangaroos and Bra.
If he's staying in his normal batting position as much as possible and the ball's missing that guideline, then he'll call it. Pretty much, that's how it works.
Nice cut to backward point. A little bit short and wide there from Saidi. None for 10. in the second over. Feel it's getting more humid by the minute. First flip's moved into a wandering split at second. And he's looking to drive through his hands at that. Hard hands, like the kitchen sink. And having a go and misses.
Yeah, one of the reasons he missed because his movement was away from the ball down the wicket instead of to the ball down the wicket.
He's been solid in this tournament, Saidi. Those teams have had good opening bowling partnerships. Saidi drives. And is it dropped at point? I think it might have been.
It was, Dan.
Yeah, it was. It was in the air. It was hit firmly. Player was on his knees. He wasn't able to hang on. And that's another one that's gone down. It was flying, but probably should have taken it. A slow one. Yes. And it deceived him a bit, didn't it? The slower delivery.
It did. Wasn't quite to the pitch of it, hitting it on the up and in the air, and drew the false shot. Didn't get the reward.
So Jayan Saidi could have had 2 wickets in that over. He's got none. So the Leopards have let a couple slip. Forget about it now. Try and get the next one. None for 11. SK, wide of the off stump, a poke. Again, not moving the feet.
Yeah, Dan was just saying to the New Zealand coach, I know there's some different batting coaching methods and theories these days, but one that I always think works is move your feet as a batter.
SK bowls again. Once more playing across the line. You're right, they're not really moving their feet. And they're fending and they're tentative, and SK is just working away. Can I just check the batters? I'm not sure the batters are right, boys. Boys? I'm not sure the batters are right. I've got different numbers in regard to the batters. Dude, can I check the batters? Are the batters right?
Yep.
You sure they're right?
Number is on the slide. T-shirt number.
So Braz on strike. He's on 4 off 8 and Raz at 2 off 7. Here's SK in again. Pulled away. Short. Found a gap. But didn't quite get all of it. Allowing mid-on to collect it. And they managed to get 2. Just a little bit short. And that's a better shot.
Yeah, that was a better shot. Didn't quite get it, but well chased down out there in the outfield.
None for 13 in the third over. So it's an okay start here. As we mentioned, a couple of gettable chances going down against the Leopards. Got to make advantage of this now, the Kangaroos. This is in the air. It's spooned away. Tempted effort to take the catch. Couldn't quite hang on. That was a good effort. 2 fielders were getting near that. Extra cover and mid-off. The shot was a poor one. Seemed to hold up on the pitch a little bit. He just steered it very tentatively. He couldn't quite get there. The fielder in the covers. In the air again. 4th opportunity to take the catch. They've got it on this occasion. If the first time you don't achieve, or the second time you don't achieve, or the third time you don't achieve it, the 4th time you might, well, you'll take that. 1 for 13. They deserve that, and some pretty poor batting by the Kangaroos. some catching practice out there, and in the end, Damien Bra, who hasn't really got going in this tournament, perishes, and they're 1 for 13.
And Damon saying to himself, what am I thinking? He might just wanted an early mark, I don't know, but as you said, he gave them a number of chances. Eventually, you give enough, you're going to give one away, aren't you? So that's the end of Damon Bra, 1 for 13. And Khan picks up a wicket, 1 for 3 off his 2 overs.
Well, the ball before, Jika Singh is a very good fielder, whether it be at short straight mid-wicket or short straight cover. Wasn't far away from getting that one. Just seemed to fall out as he hit the ground, or his arms hit the ground. So, a lot of work to be done here now. Raza. To be joined by the man who batted really well yesterday. It was a fine innings. Was there at the end. They made 115 and he made more than half of them. And that is Azan Saeed. We're into the 4th over. Saeedi working away. Raza playing underneath that one. Good bowling again.
Yeah, beaten by a bit of pace there. Very sort of slow start here, isn't it? It's a projected score of 82. But as you say, Azan Saeed batted nicely yesterday, so he's in form. And he'll be looking to continue on from where he left off yesterday.
Pill for LBW, hit on the pad, it's out! Yeah, that looked pretty straight. And pretty plumb from here. We'll certainly check the replay, but it doesn't matter. The umpire's given him out. 2 for 13 now. Yeah, that looked plumb, didn't it?
Yep, I think that looks out to me. This is probably a better view because it's right behind. Oh, did deck. Did cut. That's what beat him in the end, but
Counted in, didn't it?
Yeah, reward for the bowler. He said, well, fellas, if you aren't going to be able to catch them, I may as well get him out LBW or bowled.
So, Saif Raza departs, and it's 2 for 13 now. And even though it's early days of his stay at the crease, does Azan Saeed feel that this could be a case of deja vu?
All over again.
Yes. Yogi Berra.
Yep. You're with me, Dan. You got me, yep.
With his tail up, Saeedi, and a swing outside the off stump, low percentage shot, first ball I would have thought, Grant.
These guys got a party to go to or something. And they want to get there early.
Well, look, disengaged with the bat early days.
They do,
We haven't seen Saeed yet, so let's maybe just...
Hold fire?
Yeah, my caveat...
A caveat?
Is
Can I have a caveat?
here. I've got your caveat at the moment. Just
okay.
For comments that particularly I might make that are silly or premature. So I'll just hold on to it so it doesn't affect me too much. How's that sound?
Okay.
He's on the back foot and he steers it nicely. That was a well played shot to a shortish ball, working it down towards third man territory.
Now that gives me a bit more confidence that maybe just a nervous swing of the bat first of all, and that was a nice little nudge down to deep third man.
Raza in at the crease now. Full toss, and Saeed will get a run. Cut off by Mangal, the captain. But a nice, juicy full toss to kick off his time at the crease today for the inform Azan Saeed.
And that's what you dream of. Getting a ball like that just to get yourself off the mark. You can nearly hit that one anywhere. And you got this single down the ground.
Let's just get the batting list right. Saeem Raza has already been dismissed. Saif Raza is in now. And Damon Bra also out. Oh, that's a good delivery. It took off, and did it get him in the helmet? Let's have a look at the replay. That really took off. Short of a length. They've gone over to see if he's okay. Bent his back. Took his eye off the ball at the last minute, but it was a good ball, wasn't it?
That's a good ball. Lapped at him. Oh, yeah. Everyone watching at home, you got an idea there of what that was actually like. It started to zero in and track towards the grill. That's not pleasant at all, facing a ball like that.
Ash Barrow, a great umpire as we know. Checking to make sure the young man, Saif Raza, is okay. And SK will continue. Why not if these two opening bowlers are doing the job? A few drop catches, but it doesn't matter. They've got 2 wickets now, 2 for 15. Mishra's back in the slips. For Azan Saeed, who's on 1. Saif Raza on 1. And he drives, but got the toe end of the bat to a well up ball. Pakistan and India still to come to decide who finishes on top in Pool A. Here the Lankan Lions and the Afghanistan Eagles will play in the semis tomorrow. Again, shortish ball, and it's called wide. He thought originally I might flap bat this. There are some gaps on that onside, but he opted not to.
He may have known that the wide was going to be called. So he gets another look at the next ball.
Similar to the young boys who played for the Lincoln Lions in his school uniform, heading off to school. Perfect catch behind. He's gone. Saeed looking to pull the next one. It's taken the bottom edge of the bat, gone through to the wicket keeper, and that's a massive breakthrough for the Afghan Leopards because the inform man's gone. Saeed for 1, it's 3 for 16.
Let's take a little replay. Moves away. Just got the absolute toe end of the bat. Wasn't walking, that's for sure. And once the umpire, Ash Burrows, puts his finger up, you don't have any choice, do you, Dan?
Exactly right. Grant's a low percentage shot too for a guy in pretty good form that played across the line, didn't really move his feet, which has been the cause of quite a few dismissals. I mean, I'm probably the last man to criticise anyone not moving their feet. The only foot I ever move is sort of my back foot. I never really move my front foot. No wonder I don't go very well in cricket, or haven't over the years. But when you watched a fair bit of it, there was an opportunity there for, if he was to try and carve that through the onside, come across, but he took the bottom of the bat. So Tristan Carnival hasn't had a great tournament with the bat, and he got injured yesterday while wicket keeping, but he stuck at the task. He's come out now with his team in lots of strife. 3 for 16 in the 5th over. Day 4 of the Under-19 Carnival. Thank all our sponsors. Harry has done a great job to get it all together. Sachin and his team for all the production work. And the Lindale Cricket Club as well. All the guys pitching in. And this takes an inside edge. Might be a run out here. He's out of his ground. He had to really work hard to get back. Safe Raza. We thought there might have been a run, and he was probably the caller. In fact, he was the caller. Non-strikers in, but got sent back pretty quickly by Carnival. He didn't know where that was.
Yeah, he's taken that on his elbow, Carnival, and they hurt. They really hurt. So leap up and hit that back elbow, giving that a bit of a rub.
Well, SK's in his third over, Grant. 2 for 4. Bowls again. Carnival driving to mid-off. Throw at the stumps. He was slightly hesitant, but he got through. The return misses. What would you do? Would you bowl him out?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, I think that's the way to go. Well, he's in good form and picking up wickets. You can almost take the game away from the Kangaroos right now.
Still using a slip, Mishra. Whitish first slip. Beaten outside the off stump, Pill for a catch behind. Half-hearted.
Yes.
Mahadeva, the wicket keeper.
It wasn't as convincing as it
No.
could have been, was it? Very close, but
He threw the ball up in delight. Could have been the fact that he thought, wow, it's another great piece of bowling. Last ball of his third over. 5th over of the innings. And it's wide of the off stump, and it will be called a wide. Gee, late swing there, but again, well taken. He's a good wicket keeper, this young man, Mahadeva. And again doing what the previous wicket keeper did, and has his pads inside his cricket pants. Short, looking to pull from outside the off stump. Bit too quick for him. And great bowling by SK Suds Khan. 3 overs, 2 for 6. 5 overs gone. And it's 3 for 18 with the Sydney Kangaroos in this match where both teams are just looking for a win to end the tournament on a good note. After the Lincoln Lions entered the tournament of the gallant Kiwi Warriors, a good solid win in the first match today. And India and Pakistan playing for top spot in Pool A this afternoon. Could be a dress rehearsal for the final.
here's a chance for a player like Carnival to spend some time in the middle, get well into double figures, maybe a 20 or a 30.
Got plenty of overs, isn't he? Let's have a look at it. Saidi working away and driving Carnival. Beats short straight cover. And they'll come back for 2, but there might be a run out. And they just make it in time. Not sure that he took it as cleanly as he would have liked then, Saidi, but they get the 2. They had to show some urgency, and they did. Three for 20 in the 6th. Saidi working away. Carnival plays away from the body and manages to get a run. Have to keep that scoreboard ticking over, Grant, at the moment. That's the most important thing in what the Kangaroos are trying to do, and give their bowlers, their bevy of fast bowlers, plenty to bowl at when it's their turn to have a field.
Yeah, you did right. We're not looking for anything too elaborate at the moment. We're just looking for some good cricket shots, some good innings management. Get onto those ones, turn ones into 2s.
That's a poor shot, trying to play a pull shot miles away outside the off stump through the onside. Nothing shot really. Say Fraser 1 on 6, 1 off 6 I should say, and he just needs to improve his shot selection. Great to have so many people watching us on Set Sports around the world, around Australia. New Zealand, of course. Driven down the ground to mid-off. That was hit pretty hard and didn't get much reward.
And I don't mind that use of the feet because he showed intent there. He went down the wicket, directly down the wicket at the bowler, trying to put the bowler off his length. So in the last 2 games we've seen some really good bowling. That's been a feature, that line and length bowling. We're seeing it again now here. Sadie.
These two have been wonderful operating together. Excellent discipline being portrayed by Sadie and SK. Sadie in action at the moment. Short, pulled away by Raza. He did well though by rolling the wrists and ensuring that it goes along the ground.
Yeah, he just hit it down into the ground.
Yeah.
And that was a good shot. Well controlled. Picking up a single. So 3 for 22 off their 6 overs.
So just on that, you didn't think he rolled the wrist, he just put it along the ground. I know you and I were discussing earlier about Ian Chappell with the cut shot.
Yeah, it's the same with the pull shot.
Right.
Too, yeah, basically what their coach back in the day, it used to be you had to roll your wrists down and that's, they then realised that what was actually happening is to get the ball to the ground like you did then, is just hit down on the ball. So your bat's got to be above the ball, you hit down on it, and that'll get the ball to the ground. When you roll your wrist, you risk turning it over too quickly and snicking it.
Right.
Something you don't need to do as much.
6th over, and this is on the leg stump, and he manages to flick that off the line of his pads. So come back for 2, and they had to run quickly. The return was a really good one, and we know Mahadeva has got lightning hands as a wicket keeper, and he was there, but so was Carnival to make the run. That's good running.
Yeah,
better effort.
Liked a lot about that. I liked the shot, which is very strong off his pads, and then I really liked the intent, very quick between the wickets. That's good. That's going to start that type of attitude will start working its way through the team, you think. These two fellas look like they can run quickly between the wickets, so play to your strengths.
3 for 24 after 6 overs. Dan Lonigan and Grant O'Hara with you. Suhan as well. And enjoying this ACL 2025. Semi-finals tomorrow, final on Sunday, Labor Day. A lot of these young men involved in club cricket over the weekend, never stops for them, but they do love it obviously. Saeed Samir is the new bowler. They've decided to save SK. He's got 1 over to go. And this is down the leg side. Don't know whether there was any bat on that. No. 4 wides. And he wasn't able to get across and take it. Mahadeva. And the fine leg fielder was not fine enough to be able to cut that off.
Just a loosener there from Samir. Saeed Samir.
Right in front of the sign of Harry, our boss, Exclusive Migration. One of the major sponsors. Samir bowls again. And it's called a wide once more, and a bit frustrated with himself. Mahadeva again couldn't quite glove that. And he was almost going on one leg to attempt a slog sweep to a medium pacer. That's how I describe that, Saif Raza. Carnival will now have a look at the new bowler. Run rate just over 5 now. These two trying to put a partnership together. Flicks it behind square. Saidi is onto it. They'll come back for 2. It is good running. Did he get back in time? No! I thought it was good running. The return was great. And he was over the bails. Mahadeva, and he has run Carnival out, and that's a bad loss, a bad wicket, a run out, needless run out when they were just starting to build a partnership.
And he's dead right. That's another really good decision by the umpire. And I feel so sorry for him there because he was batting well. He was starting to accumulate runs.
He's come back.
There's no need to review it because it's out. It was a good decision by the umpire, looks like. If they call for a review, let's get onto it quickly and get the decision. It's out.
He took it cleanly too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These umpires, they start to lose.
Is it about like us as commentators, Grant, you as a cricketer, there's a lot of pride in performance.
Yeah, there
But
is.
we've got the technology there. Let's just make sure. But then you're right, you start to second guess a bit. This is why I think some of the senior umpires at the highest level lost their way near the end because they'd make one decision which ended up being overturned. Oh, gee, I don't know whether I'm any good anymore. It's just one decision.
He called what he saw there, the umpire, and he saw it as out, and he's right. He was right. He was short of his ground. He looked like it had to be a great throw. It had to be right over the bails, and the keeper had to take it straight to the bails, and he did. Everything happened that the striker, the batter, didn't want.
I might have been a little bit harsh on Carnival, saying it wasn't good running in the end. I said initially it was good running. It was just very good fielding.
It was good fielding.
Very good fielding, right over the bails. Didn't do a lot wrong. Samir. And it's taken off. And it certainly troubled the new batter. Who is Ashtawan.
That was well kept. I'm surprised he's staying up there.
It spat up, didn't it?
Yeah, given that he's already missed a few down leg. Samir needs to stay outside off stump here.
Samir.
Oh, well done. Got down leg, but it's a wide. I'm not even sure the keeper's got pads on underneath that, Dan, which is pretty gutsy when you're standing over the top like this. A ball into the shin. It's not going to help.
Are we ever going to see the day where it becomes a rule more than an exception that they don't wear pads? And what I mean by that is not so much a rule, but just it becomes more common is probably the better phrase there.
Yeah, I never worried. I was as concerned standing back, but standing over the top, full pitch, and you miss when you get one into the shin, that just about break your shin. And it doesn't look to me like he's even got pads under there. So he's obviously very reliant on his hands and happy with his glove work.
4 for 33 in the 7th. Good bowling. Almost cut. The new man, Diwan, in half then. And well kept by Mahadeva. He's done some good things, Mahadeva, behind the stumps. And Samir. Bowling some decent medium pace. And again, just pops up in front of the bowler, right on line, and not able to make much connection at the moment as he tries to find his way at the crease.
The new batter, number 8, Ash.
Diwan. This is down the leg side, and once more standing up. Mardiva wasn't able to take it. Couple of runs on the board, quite a few extras already. Not a lot off the bat yet. This is an interesting over, isn't it? 4 wides, 1 wide, a wicket. Dot, wide, dot, 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 1 wide.
We're up to 9, I think, already.
Yeah.
9 balls.
1 plus a wide, I should say. So 2. And then he attempts to cut, and it's called a wide again.
How does the umpire's keeping up with this? So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 10th ball of the over.
Just can't quite get the line right.
We've had a run out in amongst all of this.
Yes, we have. It's 4 for 35 in the 7th. It's in the air. He's got plenty of that, I think. Or could the catch be taken? Wasn't a bad effort. He tried to parry it back in and maybe get it on the rebound, but it just had enough carry to get over the line. 6 runs over deep backward square.
That went a long way up in the air too. He got right up underneath it. And the first question was it going to travel the distance? It didn't quite. Would have been a fantastic catch. And parried over the boundary for 6.
Azad Norzai was down there. Seen some pretty good catches in this tournament so far. The Lankans, weren't they good today? 4 rippers. Early days to put the Kiwi Warriors on the back foot. That catch, and you and I haven't discussed it, that catch by the wicketkeeper, how good was that? He ran about 30 metres to take that catch first ball.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. It was terrific. The intent was excellent.
And here's the man who's just involved in the last piece of fielding. The aforementioned Azad Norzai. Pizzas are out. Nice, Grant.
It's lovely, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, very good. We'll get you in a minute. As I'll let you have a mouthful. We're working hard here, and good start by Norzai, beating the probing bat outside the off stump of Diwan, and it remains at 4 for 42 in the 8th over. Current run rate at 5.86, and they're saying the projected score will be 117. They got 115 yesterday. And long way from defending it. Now he plays underneath another one where he doesn't move his feet, just maybe trying to work it away, allowing the ball to hit the bat. Once more, it's another windy woof outside the off stump. Playing a miss. Azad Norzai in his opening over. Bowls him! Magnificent ball right through his defences. And it's another one. 5 for 42. And Diwan is out without troubling the scorers. And the Leopards right on top here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay. This is plenty of pace in this delivery, and it's a Yorker length. And cannons right into both off stump and middle stump. Norzai. That's his only his 3rd ball of this spell. Very happy with that. 5 for 42 now. The Kangaroos, the Sydney Kangaroos. And as Dan quite rightly said, their Leopards, Afghan Leopards, are right on top. Tarakal, the new batter for the Sydney Kangaroos, Osman Tarakal. Let's just hope that the City Kangaroo players are taking a lot away from this great tournament. Playing top-class cricket at under 19 level, there's as much to learn as anything when you do this. Down the ground, hits the stumps, full pitch. Can't hit the ball any straighter than that, straight into the stumps. I start from Usman Tarkal.
I suppose, as you say, Grant, it's important they take at least one positive out of the game, each player out of the tournament, or out of each game.
Well, the old saying, Dan, it's only a wasted experience if you don't learn something from it.
Correct.
I like that. It's one of my favourites.
Who did you hear that from? I do like it.
No, I'm not exactly sure who I can credit that one for. Certainly not myself.
Sun shining now. Oh, in the air. But it might have cleared the two fielders. It has. Wasn't sure, Grant, how much he got of that one, but he got enough. And the two fielders were at mid-off and mid-on, and they went over in the air. So very handy boundary. Thanks to Harry for the food, looking after us again as he always does. For exclusive migration and the boss of the ACL tournament. As persistent a man as I've ever met in my life to organise our team to get out here from India. It's 5 for 47. It's a nice boundary there by Saif Raza. But as I say, I wasn't sure how much control he had in that shot. It looked like it was more up in the air than distance, but it was placement as well, which was important for him. Atal Mangal, the captain, into the attack now at 5 for 47. And these two just need to build something if they can. As we hit the 9th over. And this is played off his toes magnificently. It was over pitched and it'll go to the boundary for 4. That's a good shot. Behind backward square. Just the loosener there from Mangal, allowing Raza to flick it cleverly. That's a beautiful shot when you play it correctly. With your left-hander or right-hander, it's 5 for 51 in the 9th. So Mangal's in again and on the back foot and playing into the offside, no run. Projected score from here 125, and they'd take that, I reckon.
Take it all right. Quite a good score. We've seen plenty of those totals defended so far in the competition. Nicely struck. Oh, it's a lovely sound coming off the middle of the bat. They were straight to the field. It was still well timed. Driving down the ground. And on comes around, does the fielding, just a single. Romain Safi just goes past us there. Loves his cricket, both the Safi boys.
They were good yesterday, weren't they? And
yeah.
That, defence of that score, which they fell apart after starting so brightly through Jude Owen. Last ball coming up at the 9th over. And it's 5 for 53. Slip being dispensed with now. And takes the edge, but an educated edge. To third man. 9 overs gone now. Saif Raza 13 of 12. Osman Tawakul 7 of 6. Lachlan Tawakul was the one that was affected by the heat yesterday. And a lot of these players are obeying Ramadan this month, which means no fluid or food in daylight hours. It was a tough day for them yesterday. Five for 55. 5 for 54. So Azad Nurzai will continue. And why not? He's already taken a wicket and he's opening over. It was a great delivery too. Tawakul on strike. And it's called a wide as it was a bouncer down the leg side. Lost his radar.
So 1 for 5 off his first over.
So I presume grade cricket will be off in Queensland this week? You're into the semi. That's a stupid question, but what are we in the semis? Driven down the ground?
The racing's off.
Everything's off, yeah.
The AFL's off. The cricket's off. Going into semi-finals. Been in contact with my family there, and they've just said there's no one on the roads. It's the first ever time we've had the eye of a cyclone go through Brisbane in our history.
It's just played nicely to a ball right on middle stump, but driving fluently by Tawakul out into the offside. And it's quite dangerous, isn't it, as you said a bit earlier, Grant, off air, that it could cause damage. We hope it doesn't.
Yep, we'll soon see how well constructed many of our homes are.
5 for 56. Pill for LBW, but I've got a feeling it was going down the leg side. He was the only one really interested, Nurzai.
I'm sure you're right there, Dan. That's exactly right. Down leg.
So it's a bit like COVID, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's a COVID situation there right now. All of the shopping centres are starting to close. People have panic buyed.
Force into the onside. No run.
Yeah, waters, food, eggs. Yep.
Aren't people buying generators? So all the
Yep.
methane gas that they need for that, or the gas they need for that, that's all gone. There were queues
Yep.
everywhere. I think
Yep.
your wife was telling you.
Yep.
Petrol. 5 for 57 in the 10th. This is in the air, lofted long and high and on the bounce. Out to deep cover. Controlled the shot pretty well in the end. Took the pace off it to ensure that it didn't go down the throat of the fielder.
I suppose you prepare it now for it to be the worst, and then if it's better than that, you're very thankful.
Any idea how many hours it's expected to go for, or is that how long's a piece of
What I
string?
did read this morning was that what you don't want it to do, funnily enough, is slow down.
Pill for LBW came across, he stumps, he's out, and I think he knew that too. He's virtually run down the wicket, and he didn't even look at the umpire's decision then. That was, well, very unusual. Saif Raza came across, he stumps. He was going to be given out, you would have thought, as he missed it. It exposed at least the leg stump and probably the middle stump. Yes, you wish Grant and his family and all the other people in southeast Queensland all the very best in a very tough time coming up for them with Cyclone Alfred. We know different weather patterns around the world where our coverage is going on Set Sports. They can suffer dreadful calamities This is just another example. 6 for 58. Halfway mark. And the Tawakals are in together. Lockman and Osman. And they've got some work to do. Nurzai, been a star. A wicket in each of his 2 overs. 2 for 9. Hello, Suhas.
Hello.
Lovely to see you again.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Like your checkered pants. Probably can't see them on the camera, but I do like them. I'm dressed casually.
Thanks,
You're
yeah,
dressed
Did you get a
business-like.
compliment on sartorial choices from the great Dan?
Look at that. That is pulled away. Short delivery. One of the shots of the tournament. Lifting it away over backward square for 6. Great shot.
Picked the length early. And when you can hit a shot of this kind to the opposition skipper, the entire team will tremble. The Leopards need to bounce back.
Don't you love his number? 786 on the back of his shirt.
Interesting. There must be a meaning to it, though. It's a very holy number, as much as little as I know. It's a holy number. Yes.
If you put them together,
No, it's not.
7, 8 and 6 is 21. Does that have
No,
a
it's
meaning
not about
it?
adding them. I don't think
Right.
it's about adding them. It's about 786, the number itself.
Okay. Try and find
And
out.
it holds great relevance in Islam.
6 for 64. While these two are together, and if they can produce shots like that, you never know. But they've lost wickets a bit too regularly. In the air this time. This is as soft a dismissal as you're ever likely to see. Just spooned it up, catching practice. They dropped a few early, but they're hanging on to them now. And the commentator's curse from one Daniel Thomas Lonigan has hit again. It's 7 for 64 in the 11th over. Do you know my second name is Thomas?
Just came to know. But this is indeed a very, very simple catch. Given the fact that Atal Mangal had to make a comeback, and this is the best kind when you can pick up the wicket of the man who smashed a 6. Tawakal departs for 15, 64 for 6.
It was a terrible shot.
Yeah.
After the one before was so good.
Ah, yes. The dance has already begun. It's a team that... It's more than a team, I'll tell you. It's not a franchise, it's a family. Sometimes that's what they show. The way they pick up each other, quite literally as well. Now when the chips are down.
He's one of their fast bowlers, Mohammad Kashif. They've got a large number of them, a plethora of them in this team, as we've seen a few times in the tournament.
He's quite a character, isn't he? There's pizza on it, we have to serve it. There's pizza on it. Yeah, you might have to remove that bit. I think it's... Oh, it's dried now. There's sauce on it. $64 for 7. Mohammad Kashif. Very enticing for Atal Mangal to pitch it up here to get that edge. Really well struck for a first ball. Kashif off the mark.
And a free hit, of course. Quite a lot of front foot no balls. I haven't seen front foot no balls like this for a long time.
You're going to keep that front foot in check as a bowler.
I find at the top level nowadays that they've really worked on that, haven't they? And they've
Indeed.
eliminated that out of their game.
The time that it takes for the opposition skipper as well to bounce back from that. Remember, every no ball's going to be bowled again. And then the free hit, of course. Sometimes you need to change the field as well for that. The plan as well. It's a very time-driven game, 2 hours.
They'll get a run here. It's been a reasonably high percentage shot from a lot of teams. Just flat batting through the onside, playing across the line, as long as, of course,
Good
keep
point,
it along
Dan.
the ground.
Good point, and that I think that's happening because of the dimensions of the ground too. It becomes an easier option for them to access the area on the leg side. Good delivery.
Yorker length and driven down to mid-off. Good running. I mean, at times they've been pretty good with their ability to want to run between wickets. There was a bad run out on Carnival. Then, when I say that, the return was great. The cricket was terrific.
Yeah.
In that he was determined to go for the second. And you thought, well, he'll make this, but then the return and the wicket keeping to whip the bails off was just a little bit too good.
And that's the level we're talking about in Aussie Cricket League under 19. Dan, you've covered. Now this should be a second run. It is indeed a second run.
And
good running between the wickets.
And another free hit.
Another free hit. Dan, I'll tell you what. You've covered multiple tournaments of the ACL, and you've covered multiple editions of ACL under 19 too. You've seen the drastic growth of talent.
Well, there's so much talent, isn't there, at the suburban level
The
that are
teams have
starting to make
increased.
their way now, yes.
The competitiveness of the league itself has increased. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it from Harry's point of view as well, who's hosting this tournament, this is exactly what you need.
Oh, it's terrific. I mean, giving these guys exposure. This is hit down the ground
No
and
worries
on the
there.
bounce.
With a free hit, no worries.
Yes.
Now, having said that, just completing my point. Now, from your point of view as a commentator, when you see such good talent bloom and blossom, at the same time the competitiveness of the league itself increase many folds within such a short span of time, does it all go well for cricket in the region?
Well, the other thing too is that I'll keep an eye on these players now forever. And you see quite a few
There
of
you
them in Victoria who are in the emerging squad.
Yep.
About half a dozen of them at least playing in this tournament are in the under-19 emerging squad. We've mentioned a few times that a lot are playing Premier Cricket, whether it be first, seconds or the under-18 comp, Dowling Shield, so they're not far away. A lot are playing first cricket for their suburban clubs.
I think this tournament, then ACL, becomes a great bridge for the cricketers to knock on higher doors.
It does. It does. I mean, I think under 19s. I mean, I've loved the senior tournament as well that we've called a few times.
That's a different
So
beast
hard.
altogether, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. It is.
It's a different beast. And what's I'll tell you something. When you can find more teams for the under 19 tournament, because now we have 8 teams,
Yes.
it augurs well for the cricket in the region because there are more youngsters playing the sport, and there are more youngsters coming through the ranks, and that means the experienced are also kept on their toes. This is my reading of the game. What would you suggest?
Well, I think 8 teams is enough. If you would have more, you'd probably need then to increase your broadcasting if you wanted every game broadcast. And I dare say that Set Sports would love to do it, especially throughout India
complaints.
and the subcontinent.
No complaints.
But then you've got to find more equipment. You've got to find more money if you have more teams. I think 8 teams is enough at the moment. I mean, you never want to try and expand or build something too quickly while you've got a product that's still developing.
Maybe.
I'll use an example. AFLW here in Australia, the AFL Women's Competition. They went too quickly, too early to have the 18 teams. And there wasn't enough talent. They're starting to get the talent because there's a lot of all girl teams and all female teams at junior level
Right, but
playing the game. But they had 8 at the start and should have kept 8 for a bit longer than they did. They then went to 10, they then went to 12. And then they've gone to 18. But there are some teams that aren't quite ready yet. And players that aren't quite ready.
so without diluting competition,
Oh, that's an appeal for LBW.
I think that's a very good shout.
That's our man too, the frog in the blender. Ahmed
Ahmed
Zahid, yeah. Go on.
If the word Afghanistan's there, no matter where they are playing cricket around the world, I think the spinners will prop up. And spinners will carry the mystery around them too.
Well, they're coming. I mean, Grant and I discussed it briefly earlier that they are coming as a cricket nation, Afghanistan. That's...
Do you still say they're coming as a cricket nation? I think they've arrived. Look at the results of late, especially white ball cricket.
Well,
Red ball, they're a long way to go. They have a long way to go, red ball, but white ball cricket with the limited resources that they had as well, I think it's been a fantastic side. I recently covered the Emerging Teams Asia Cup, and it was Afghanistan who triumphed. That would be a good shout. Now that is...
Gee, 3 in a row he's hit the pads, and 3 in a row he hasn't got the result.
Indeed. And just completing my point,
Yep. Let's just have a look why this wasn't given.
it's very difficult to say from this angle
Yeah, it
because the
is.
keeper is the one obscuring. Having said that, he rolled his wrist, so I don't think this would have spun away from the righty. That one could have gone on with the angle. So the emerging teams Asia Cup was won by Afghanistan, where they gave a run for the money to Pakistan, to India, all established nations.
Yes.
And when emerging teams are put together,
Gives it air. It's driven nicely.
and you do so well, I think that is enough testimony that good players are waiting in the ranks.
So why has
And Sadiqullah Atal, who's now made it to
Yes.
the Champions Trophy squad of Afghanistan, who scored a magnificent half century as well recently,
Yes, he did.
scored a half century every time he turned up against every single side. So they're brimming with talent, Afghanistan.
So why hasn't Bangladesh kicked on? They've had a lot of the same players who've played a lot of great cricket, have been wonderful servants.
Right.
And they just haven't been able
I'll tell you
to
my
have
reading
players
of it.
develop
It's
as
a
much
very
as
good
they
question.
should.
Very good question. Dan Thomas Lonergan, correct?
Daniel Thomas Lonergan, 7 for 76 after 12 overs, but I hate Daniel.
Okay.
So everyone calls
Why?
me Dan. Well, I just...
I corrected
it-
myself.
it-
I said Dan Thomas Lonergan.
Well, I was christened Daniel Thomas, but I just think that it's a bit too formal. I've been known as Dan throughout my media career, so I'm happy with Dan. I nearly changed it to Depot.
Nice.
That's how silly I was. I had a friend of mine change his name from Jeff to Coach because it was his media name for a long time,
I see.
and it worked. It worked. So, yeah, I'm very interested because Bangladesh
Yep.
have been treading water with the greatest respect to them. They love their cricket, but they
They
just
do.
haven't been as competitive as they should have been, considering how
it's-
long they've been around.
It's high time they look inside at this stage. It's high time they look within to find the answers. We might have a lens that comes from outside. And from what we can see is absolute turmoil. And they've only gone downhill. Good talent has emerged. At the emerging teams Asia Cup as well, there were moments where they were dominating Bangladesh side. And Bangladesh side qualified for the semis as well. But then you realize it's the senior side. Are they setting a good precedence? If the senior side is winning, then the confidence percolates to the lower levels.
But they're not
I'm
winning.
a big believer of that. Oh, the no ball. This is a curse. This is a curse that's going on with Afghanistan Eagles. There's so many no balls.
It's letting them down, isn't it? I mean, the front foot no ball has become a horror for them.
And it's going to be a free hit. They've got such experienced umpires in Ash Barrow and Vivek out there.
It's good to see Vivek. I wonder where he was, and he arrived yesterday.
Absolute professionals.
That smashed down the ground, but of course it was a free hit, and that was better. I mean, just on that, before we go back to Bangladesh, Grant has been talking a lot about the free hit, that players are not taking advantage of it. They're getting dismissed a lot. On that occasion, that was better. Better execution of the free hit, taking advantage of it. I know it only got one run,
Yeah, trying
but at least
his
it got
level
a
best
run.
to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That is, he's trying to clear the man at long on at that stage. Now, interestingly, there was a long on for free hit. Now there isn't one.
Saeed Masroor is the bowler at the moment. Joker doing the fielding. He's been very good in close, as I say. When I say it's sort of in a catching position at cover or mid-wicket throughout this tournament for the Afghan Eagles.
I think we're at that stage of the tournament as well, where you've covered more games in this tournament than I have. Dan, do you believe the Lankan Lions have got what it takes to lift the cup already? Or you see things spicing up with Indian Tigers finishing off a run chase in 13 overs yesterday, presenting their candidacy and, of course, their brownie points for win-whiz by Dan Thomas Lonergan.
I think that it'll be a Pakistan Sultans Indian Tigers final, because I'm not convinced about the Sri Lankan batting.
So do
The
you think
Lankan
it's going
Lions
to be a
batting.
dry run today?
I think it'll be a
Reversal
dry
today.
run today.
This should be taken. Easily taken. The catching has improved for all the sides.
Well, they dropped 3 early days, didn't they? It took the 4th attempt to get the first wicket. I thought he got enough of that then. Lockman Tarakal, I thought he got more than enough, but probably topped it a bit. And the catch was completed on the whitish long on boundary. So it's 8 for 81 in the 13th over. The end, you'd say, is 9 now. They may not get 100.
Tawakal departs for 7 as he looks at the bat in disbelief.
What do you think? I mean,
81 for 8.
Lankan Lions have been good,
I think
but they haven't been outstanding with the bat. They've been good with the ball, though.
You talked about the dream run that they're having. What for me stands out for Lankan Lions is the fact that they've got an answer to very difficult situations that they've been put in. They've always had an answer to come out of it. And it's always looked like a side that's not squabbling with each other. And they're not looking at each other saying, okay, now what? Given the situation. They've been a very composed side because they always believe in their skipper.
He's very composed. He's young,
Very
but he's
composed.
very composed, isn't he?
Yes.
When they're all young, of course.
He's not really well built per se, but he has what it takes.
Yeah, it was
the
interesting.
leadership qualities in him have been absolutely magnificent, and when you can nurture talent like this coming through the ranks, and that is the real success of Aussie Cricket League.
Haroon Nadeem is the new batter. It was interesting just before you did the presentation of the previous match. The boys were down there and they're all sort of around him, like bees around a honey pot, talking to Susan. And they said, who are we playing next? And they weren't sure, and I said, well, I reckon it's Pakistan or India.
Yeah.
Oh, we can beat them. What do you reckon, Skipper? Yeah, we can beat them. It just they were asking for his approval and opinion. It was excellent. Great to see.
It's always the senior side setting the precedence. We'll come back to that. It's the senior side setting the precedence and the younger ones following suit. 81 for 8.
So who wins between Pakistan and India? Because then the winner of that will avoid the Lions in the semi tomorrow.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they'll get more time to rest.
They do.
Having said that, I have only seen one game of the Indian Tigers, and it looked like they're confident enough. Their chinks in the armory that you could sense might be exposed in pressure situations. But I have not seen enough of Pakistani Sultans in this edition. I've seen a game where the level of cricket that they were up against wasn't too much.
No.
So I'm not in a good position to tell you an India-Pakistan clash, as it were, how it's going to be auguring for these two sides, in all honesty. I've not seen enough cricket this season of these two sides to be giving you that answer. But if you look at the marketing dream that it's going to be, the Indian Tigers taking on the Pakistani Sultans, then if I'm on commentary, I'm neutral. And let's just leave it there.
You sure you'll be neutral?
I'm on commentary, I'm neutral.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I mean, I've commentated my AFL team, the Western Bulldogs, for a long time. It's hard sometimes to be neutral, but you're right.
It is.
Barracking while broadcasting is not the way to go.
There you go.
BWB.
And I think it's the Australians who set the precedence for that. It's the Australians
What do you mean by
who
that?
were never favourites, who never considered their teams favourites no matter when they were commentating, not just in cricket. So it's Australians who've given the world a lesson on how to be neutral.
Oh, has that bowled him around his legs? That's unbelievable. That is amazing. An amazing dismissal by Ahmed Ahmedzai. Around his legs, he didn't offer a shot, Haroon Nadeem, and it's sort of come back and bowled him. Wowee. Suhas, I can't believe that. We've seen some very strange things in this tournament, but that will go down as probably the most extraordinary dismissal that we've seen.
The back of the hand, didn't read that at all. And by the time he read it, Haroon knew that the death rattle has already been heard. It's a very awkward dismissal. It's one that the coach doesn't want to talk about too.
Well, you're right, because
It's one that coach says, write down in your diary, just don't talk to me about it.
well, you're right in regard to Pakistan and India, because they've, with the greatest respect, they've played these two teams who
Correct.
have struggled. Not maybe not the
And also
Afghan
the fact
Leopards
that
as much.
you've covered, I think, a game more than I have in this tournament, this
Yes,
edition,
yeah.
right? A game or two, so you would have a better idea
Well,
of how they were looking.
we
but
scored on Monday, but we watched everything, Grant and I. Grant was
There you
looking
go.
up the scoreboard, and
Yeah.
I had the scorebook out.
Right,
So
right.
we're watching everything, and including that win by Sri Lanka, who didn't deserve to win that match.
So I
That's
think
why,
it's only
that's why their
right,
batting worries me.
yeah, that you would be in a better position to give our viewers that answer.
And I think we'll have a fair idea about where it might be heading after the Pakistan-India game today.
Your frog in the blender kind of an action that you were mentioning, Ahmed Ahmedzai is doing a wonderful job. it's not about looking awkward. I think in cricket it's not about looking ugly. It's about your efficacy, and that is increasing many folds for someone like Ahmed Zai. And when youngsters who can thrive under pressure are created,
14th over.
it's always a great sign.
9.
As they say, Dan, diamonds are created under pressure.
They are.
And if you want to unearth gems, if you want to unearth more diamonds, then under 19 is the place to be.
He's giving it air.
Superb.
Yeah, great piece of fielding by Jaika. He comes across. He's been very good in that position, as I've said a few times. And fielding like they are in a position where, well, I mean, they're obviously looking for that last wicket, but where the game is a bit tighter than it is. Not saying that they're home yet. They've still got to make some runs. With 6 overs left, the same projected scores 119. Now, Mohammad Kashif on 5 and Ibi Khan, the big bowler, on 1, can get them to 119 from here. I dare say the Leopards would be very disappointed, but it'd be a mighty effort by the Kangaroos. I can't see that happening, to be honest. He's going to stand up to the stumps.
The beauty of the frame increases
Mahadeva.
with that logo, I believe.
The Aussie Cricket League.
Indeed.
Yes, under 19, it's a great tournament, and we've just got to keep pushing it. But as I say, I would keep the 8 teams, doesn't matter what 8 teams they are, but I would keep the 8 teams until we've bedded it down absolutely properly. And I think 2 pools is a great idea. 3 games each is a great idea. 1 day off also works. Probably wouldn't have Afghanistan Eagles play 2 in the 1 day again, but I understand there wasn't much that Harry could do about the draw. A lot of these kids are still at school or university. People are working. You've got to work around them a bit. But certainly heading in the right direction. This is in the air. It won't be caught because it had plenty of power on it, and it clears the man who took the catch previously at long on. He slammed that for 6, hit the fence on the full.
Well done, Ibi. Stand and deliver. Not much that the fielder in the deep could do.
He's a big man if he can't. And if he can just add a couple of 6s and get them to 100.
The keeper standing up.
Something. Yeah,
The
it's
options
incredible,
are
isn't it?
to not dance down the track, but hit it where he's standing from. And that's what he did. Oh, this is so deliberate. And the ball goes away for 4.
The first slips there. He probably takes that, but he wasn't.
I don't think he would have played that shot. Is that a no ball here?
Is that a no ball?
We'll have to wait for the umpire's signal.
Yes, no ball.
Indeed. Dear oh dear. So 11 runs off 1 ball in this over. Not 2, because the first delivery was a dot ball.
He's had his arm out a lot, Ash, hasn't he? With no balls up at that northern end. The great man. Yep.
And it's got to be a free hit.
9 for 94.
And every time he stuck his arm out like that, he's also
Chance.
circled the sky.
Chance for Ruby to go bang. He smacks it down the ground to long on. Gets 1. And that's okay, though.
And then Grant will puff his chest, get his coat out and say, I told you so. The free hits are not there to be maximized.
No, you just hit it on its merits. Saeed Masroor all over the place this over.
Good delivery.
Yes, shifting in the crease. It was Yorker length. So who are the other Asian countries emerging that you think we might see trying to compete for 1 day tournaments or
Nepal.
T20 tournaments? Nepal, not far away.
Yep.
Going okay?
They're doing brilliantly.
Good. Yes, we need
On a good day, they'll give a run for the money for any team. You saw what Nepal did in the World Cup, right, in the US?
Oh, good.
It was versus South Africa, and the last ball, with a run required, 2 runs required at that time, went to Markram was inside the circle, and Markram hit the stumps. Otherwise, the Gulshan Jha, had he completed the single, scores would have been level, and you never know.
Yeah, it was an amazing performance, wasn't it? And eventually they'll be more consistent as this is swung across the line for another run. Doing okay here, Big Ibby Khan, just trying to give himself, because he'll open the bowling, something to bowl at, where they can have a crack early days. Let it all hang out, as they say in the classics. Do you know what that expression means? You let it all hang out, it just gives you a bit of confidence to have a go at something.
I was processing that one too. So my list includes a lot more like that from today, isn't it? Money for jam, that was one.
Money for jam, my Latin teacher had that, money for jam, which means it's easy. This is a chance, gents, money for jam to get 75 or 80% on this test. Now, I'll step out. I've been in for way too long. People are sick of me. And the great man, Grant O'Hara, is going to come in for the last few overs, we hope, of the Kangaroos innings. They're 9 for 97.
The kind of resistance we've seen of the last batting pair has been something to worry about for the Leopards. It's important to put a full stop. And perhaps Grant will weigh in more on that. No, Ahmed Ahmedzai is one of the most difficult customers as well to hit away, because you need to pick him first.
Hi, Suresh. What are you making of it all at the moment?
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you if the Kangaroos can skip past the 100-run mark initially. Now it looks within reach.
I think they can hop past it. Kangaroos don't skip, do they? They hop.
Oh, they do.
Oh, they might skip too. Good to see that we've given you some Australian sayings. Money for jam.
Money for jam.
We have another one. Money for old rope.
Money for old? What?
Money for old rope.
Old rope.
Old rope, yeah. That's like...
And what does that mean?
Money for old rope means that you're wasting it.
You're wasting it?
Yeah, wasting money. Like you're paying, what? Money for old rope.
So all the listeners, watchers of Aussie Cricket League under 19, this is also turning into an English class for everyone. Including the commentators. So 98 for 9, 16 overs later, and we're in for something more exciting. Would there be a wicket? Is there impending? Or would there be more runs scored by the last pair?
Or all of the above.
Might be both, yeah?
Yeah.
They are very far away from what should be a score that's respectable. Having said that, we've seen low-scoring thrillers as well in Aussie Cricket League.
Oh, plenty. Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly why when you write a team off, you do so at your own peril. And that is again testimony to the level of cricket that we have come to in Aussie Cricket League under 19. Remember this tournament in Noosa.
I do. I was there.
Right. And you also suggested that this tournament can only go higher and better from here.
Yeah.
There you go. It's unfolding right in front of your eyes. We also talked about not diluting the competition while adding more teams. That has happened. And more teams showing interest at this level is also a great sign for the cricket in the region.
Definitely.
These are frustrating runs for the Leopards, and these are much needed runs for the Kangaroos.
And SK bowled really well earlier on, and we thought they might bowl him out, but they've decided just to hold him back and bowl in these final overs.
I think it's a mental win for the Kangaroos if they bat the allotted 20.
Yeah, definitely, and 2 for 7 of 3 SK's bowled.
Imagine.
Really, really nice figures for him.
Sorry, Grant, but imagine walking in. Oh, good ball. Walking in to bat in a T20 contest and no one is worried about the rate at which you score. That is the life of Kashif and Ibi Khan right now.
Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right.
And it's bright and sunny. The day started in Wellington. We're back in Melbourne. So there's Khan losing rhythm. And AB Khan looking to launch the ball. Now, of course, it's Kashif on strike. Ooh, this one came back in sharply, didn't it?
Sure did. Pitch just outside. Off stump, but I think it basically went over the top of middle.
That's a
Really
remarkable
nice ball.
delivery. There is pace bowling promise in the Leopards side. It's two teams that have got no chance to qualify or move ahead, playing for pride, but two teams that have got the fight still left in them. That is some shot from Mohammad Kashif.
We call that in Australia stand and deliver. That's what they've done, and that's brought up the 100. You'll be very happy with that. Straight down the ground. Stand and deliver.
Outstanding hit.
Don't know if this one's appropriate anymore, Sas, but have you heard the one when he's really good eye like a dead fish? Yeah, that one?
No, that's adding to my list.
That's another one. He's got an eye like a dead fish.
He's got an eye like a dead fish. He slapped it past the same fielder again. The result doesn't change. Mohammad Kashif has started to roar. And the last wicket partnership is adding respectability indeed. You never know with momentum now. They would say game on. Kashif would say game on. He's quite a character, Kashif. He doesn't go out without a fight. He doesn't go down without a fight. And that's a good
great
comeback.
reply. He's saying, look at what you're doing to my figures. Stop that. And that was a good ball, that last one.
17 overs gone, 107 for 9.
So SK finished his 4 overs with 2 for 15. Score possibility of 126. We've seen the 126 totals be competitive in the tournament so far. 3 overs remaining. And some really nice batting there at the end by Ibi Khan. Kashif now on strike. It's at the northern end of the ground. In the air, that's gone over the top.
Kashif and Ibi Khan are giving something for their bowlers to bowl at.
Swinging freely. Top edge. When the third man's up, that's one of the better shots in T20 cricket because you're just about guaranteed of getting a 4. This is a super long run up, this one.
Edged but not taken. It's running away quickly as well. Fielder gets around it.
Janet Sadi,
Nelson.
the new bowler. Just had a catch, dropped, got a tap there by the keeper.
Is that only a single taken? I thought there could be 2 here. That's only a single. Good work by Mahadeva, who got a hand to it. Kashif and AB Khan have added 30 in quick time.
24 balls.
Yeah.
Yep.
.30 very important runs. The Kangaroos gaining some confidence with the final wicket partnership.
Yeah, the Leopards are just, at the moment, just finding it difficult to find that knockout blow.
Good delivery. Still doesn't keep it down to a dot ball.
Driving in the air and put down by the bowler, always difficult, following through, came back fairly quickly. That's a dropped catch. Could have tidied up the innings there, had that one stuck, but sometimes that is exactly what it comes down to. Does it stick or not? Very difficult once you've followed through then to look up, locate the ball and take the catch. He's disappointed with that. He thought he might have been able to pick up another wicket. 1 for 20 at the end of his stint of 4 overs for Jahan Saidi. So Ibi Khan 16 and Mohammad Kashif 15. 9 for 113, and we've still got 2 overs to go. I'm thinking something in the 120s realistically, but 130s ideally would be a really good finish, and these guys have done a really good job. Khan and a shift now on strike. Atal Mangal to bowl the 19th over of the Leopards bowling innings. Swing and a miss. It's time to happy hour. It's time to go to the big shot. There's another one for you. Another one for you, Suresh. Swing like a rusty gate.
Swing like a rusty gate. Yes, this one I remember.
There you go. Look, they're all coming out now. This is what he's doing. He's swinging like a rusty gate. This time the gate is not rusty. It's very, in very good shape. It's gone 6 over cover.
Mohammad Kashif is setting an example of how to get a promotion in batting.
Absolutely.
Next time I'd be very surprised if this is the number he comes out to bat at. What a hit. Very difficult to play this shot over extra cover. And there is a sweeper in place who's only a spectator. That for me is the shot of the day.
Very good shot.
And this is the rusty gate bit.
That's the rusty gate.
The hinges are coming off.
It's a real skill, this power hitting these days, being able to keep your head still and eyes on the ball and still get some power into your shots. There's one down the ground. Couple of bounces. 1 run.
The Kangaroos do really well to get to 120.
Well, they're giving themselves a
It's game on.
fighting chance now.
In the first game, we saw that 131 was plenty towards the end because of an effort that was filled with determination with the ball in hand. But 130 was enough. Now 120. Swing and a miss.
You be calm this time.
Captain Athal's learning it the hard way that a Yorker still holds great value in the sport no matter when you bowl it.
Yes.
But there couldn't be a better time to bowl it, especially because the batter is looking for a big shot and the backlift will increase.
Yes. Made nice connection with that. Picked out the fielder. So you're wanting to go pretty straight on the offside, but really squarer on the onside to pick out the gaps. So we're down to the last over. And 121. Well done. The fighting kangaroo. The boxing kangaroo. One of our mascots, the Australian mascots.
So the Kangaroos not just survived the 20 overs, looks like they've reached the respectable total they were after. Long gone. And there's a man at cow corner. Long off in place, sweeper in place. Two men inside the circle on the offside. Third man as conventional as he gets, fine leg inside the circle. Square leg also in place. And he's played that pretty nicely. We'll get to. That's because the outfield is the 12th fielder at this stage.
Yeah, there's plenty of times I've seen on other fields that go for 4. But it's nice. I think it's really nice to have it a little bit lush, the field. It protects the fielders as they go for catches.
It protects the fielders for sure because the runs are not getting scored.
That's another reason why it protects them.
Slower delivery. He's picked the bones out of this one. Would be 4. Despite a wide long on, he knew exactly where he's hitting it. What a flurry towards the end of boundaries. What a finish.
Yeah, nice shot there. Picked the gap so nicely that time, and rather than picking out a fieldsman, got it into the gap.
This is proper batting. E.B. Khan and Mohammad Kashif.
Well, you mentioned earlier, it'll be success to get through to the 20 overs, and they're all bar 4 balls off that, so they've done what you suggested. And look what happens. These are the types of things that can happen if you spat your innings out. As Suez said, get to 20 overs, and look what happens. Down leg side between the batter and the leg stump for 4. It'll go down as buys.
As long as they keep coming, no worries at all. 45 of 36, the last wicket partnership. And both the batters contribute almost equally.
And lovely controlled hitting. Well done.
What's
Good
the next one going to be? Slower, outside off? Or is he going to go for the Yorker, full throttle?
I just think that the Yorker full throttle is the go, but the issue is if you don't quite get it right. There it was. Well played in the end. Down the ground.
He's
Well
asking
done.
for the cap.
He's asking for the cap because that's the end of the over.
That is indeed the end. Oh, we have 2 more balls to go over here, and I got confused because of that. And that means, oh, we just added the boundary right now. So, add 1 more to the tally. 2 more rather. 134 is where they get the Kangaroos, which one stage for them was a distant dream. Thanks to the final wicket partnership, it's Kashif and Ibi Khan who revived the total, get them to a respectable total, and of course would believe they can finish this tournament with a bang. Would that be the case here? Or will the Afghan Leopards find a way to claw themselves back into the game, gain the momentum with the bat in hand first up, and get to 135? It's going to be quite a run chase coming up. Cards, sir.
And then we have the card. And there was bad news at the start of the innings for the Sydney Kangaroos. They just had trouble getting things going. But take a look at the top scorers at the bottom. Mohammad Kashif, 27 of 29, and Ibi Khan, 24 of 18. I don't think anyone was expecting that. These guys are obviously the bowling unit, and they've come out and done some great work with the bat. Look at that, 133 strike rate for Ibi Khan.
So when you reach 133 with a top score that is not even 30, that means the opposition's bowled a lot of extras, and that is 30 of them. This might come back to hurt the Afghan Leopards. Sudesh Khan did pick up 2 wickets, and Azad Nurzai was so good with the ball in hand today. He got 2 for his efforts. Atal Mangal, Omad Emarzai, the spinner, was sensational to watch as well. 1 apiece for them, and Saeed Masroor as well managed a wicket with Jahan Saidi.
Yeah, and a great partnership at 9th wicket at 82, and then all out, well, not all out, 133. Some of the partnerships. 51 run partnership at the end of the innings there from Kashif and Ibi Khan of the 39 balls, so that is really well played. The next highest partnership was 17 between Kashif and Tarakal. But as you said, Suhas, those extras 30, that's really hard to suggest that hasn't made a difference to this total.
So that means 135 is a magical number that Afghan Leopards would be after. Can they get there and finish the tournament on a high? We'll find out as we will wait for you for the reply of the Afghan Leopards coming up after this short break.
Last wicket put on a few. 135, you're joking. They're better than 20 overs.
You're already late or
I've got a cricketing gem alongside me, Prabhav Mishra. Prabhav, welcome.
Thank you.
Afghan Leopards is what you're representing here, the Aussie Cricket League under 19, but I want you to tell me a little more about your journey before getting to ACL under 19.
I've been playing for 10 or so years now. Started with my dad's club, Yarra United, and then worked my way up. Played Premier Cricket, seconds. Started Kingston for the last 3 years. Played Yarra and then Southern Rose in the winter. And then I got called to play for Afghan Leopards, so here I am.
There's a lot of things that your dad worked on, especially with your batting. Could you tell us a little more about how you prepared for this particular season that's allowed you to be so successful?
Oh, it's just like hard work, I say. He used to take me to the ground. We'd train twice a day, and from there on, it's because of his hard work and extra work that I've put in from school as well. I went to a sports academy, so I trained in school, after school, and I think that's helped me.
100% it has, and it's been over 100 years that the club has existed and the system has existed. Being the best batter of MCA and youngest at the 18 years of age that you are, you want to tell a few words about that?
Oh yeah, that was definitely an experience. I got recognised for that, and then yeah, that was after playing on Saturday full days, 90 overs, and then going on Sunday in the MCA League and trying to make as many runs as I could there. So that was already extra tired, but just always had the motivation to make more runs and more runs. That's why I got the 1,000 in that one season, so I was pretty proud of myself.
Now, the batter you are, absolutely magnificent. Could you tell us a little bit about the chats you have with your sister in terms of cricket? Because she herself is a fantastic cricketer.
Oh yeah, my sister Kamya, she's been representing Melbourne first 11 for the last 3 years now, and she's played Victoria for 3 years, so it's just, we try to help each other out after every game, ask each other what went right, what went wrong, but it's like, yeah, she's proven herself, and that's why she's playing Victoria now.
Is she your biggest critic, or is she your go-to person to try and improve yourself? Is she your best friend when it comes to cricket and having cricket conversations?
Oh, a little bit, but I'd say it's Dad for both of us, and we talk to him about it, and then yeah, we go from there to training and work on the stuff.
And finally, if you could tell us, an average of 65 is a dream for so many who are playing different formats of the game. Having said that, how do you maintain that? The consistency factor. How do you motivate yourself every time to give your 100% when you step onto that cricket field?
I just think it means everything, and like I can't take it for granted. So whenever I go and play the game, I know I have to make runs and it's to make my team win. That's the first priority, and I know whenever I make runs, it always helps the cause. So that's when I know that's my role, and then I have to go and make sure I make the runs.
Keep making the runs, keep entertaining us, Prabhav. Absolutely brilliant talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Prabhav, once again proving age is just a number. The 18-year-old is just remarkable, isn't it? Make sure whenever you get time, because if you already haven't, no. Come over here, because we're going to see a Prabhav show if he gets going today.
Well, a wonderful last wicket partnership by the Kangaroos has put them in the frame here. And the man who's opening the bowling was part of that, Ibi Khan. And Mohammad Kashif took it to 135. So the target 136. So some work now for the Afghan Leopards to do. Twice they've passed 100 with the bat, the Kangaroos, but their bowling has been an issue. The over rate has been slow. Grant O'Hara's back with me. And
Can I get an early win, Viz?
60-40 Kangaroos.
Okay. You got the Kangaroos' nose in front with the 130. It's good performance in the end, wasn't it?
It was,
to
very
get
good.
Up there.
Dalil Ahmedzai is one of the openers. Ibi Khan, who loses his way straight away. Not a good start. After batting so well, I mean, you could have had whatever you wanted in regard to the fact they were going to make 100, and they got it easily, didn't they?
Yeah, any price. Write your own ticket, Dan.
Mishra's the key here. He's at the non-striker's end. 58 in the first game, 11 in the second. Ahmedzai, of course, is opening with him. He'll face the first ball. They're a long way away from the bat, the wicket keeper, and the first slip. This might take a while because the first ball is as wide as we've seen all day. The Steve Harmison delivery. like it was to Justin Langer in that much anticipated Ashes Series 2006-2007, and the balloon was pricked with the first ball. They were hardly competitive, bar making 500 in the second test in Adelaide, England, when Paul Collingwood made a double ton, and then in the second innings they went into their shell, and the late great Shane Warne, probably for the last time in his career, weaved his magic to will Australia over the line. It was a bad first ball wide. That short outside the off stump. Gee, they're standing a long way back, aren't they?
Yeah, he's got
had
a
two
bit of
deliveries.
speed, bit of pace, bit of bounce. Ibby, you feeling good after his innings? There's just one thing about batting, Dan. You just never know how it's going to. You have some self-doubt and then you go, wow, I'm getting some runs. This is great, and that's exactly what Ibby did in their innings.
Kashif gave him good support. This is a swing and a miss outside the off stump, and I think they're standing a bit too far back because the wicket keeper then, Carnival, it rolled to him. He took it in front of his shins.
Yeah, so the wicketkeeper usually dictates where the first slip stands, and he's, as you say, a long way back. Sure, it's quite going through that quickly.
Two legitimate balls so far, none for one, and again a lot of bounce on that.
That taking shoulder height.
Yes. Probably want the next game to start pretty quickly, Grant, if we don't want it to get dark after this. As this is forced away, a ball on the leg stump around the corner for the first run off the bat, going the way of Ahmedzai, not the little Ahmedzai, Jalil Ahmedzai, bringing Mishra, who's a good player, on strike. Looking forward to seeing him bat again. Got a good half century on the opening day of the tournament. No, it was only 3 days ago. It seems a long time ago. Plays for Hawthorn Monash. And he plays across the line, driving into the onside to a ball on line. That's none for two. Current run rate 2.4, run rate required 6.94.
Yeah, the Kangaroos really back-ended their innings, didn't they? Really had their last couple of batters who really dug in and scored critical runs for them.
Looked like they weren't going to get to 100. That's good bowling again, defending from the crease, Mishra. That's the opening over. Let's see if they can hustle through their overs a bit quicker today. Obviously, it's a bit cooler.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of value in getting through them quickly, not just in regards to time, but also when there's hustle out there, you can get some momentum for your bowling and fielding team and keep the batting side on the hop. Don't give them too long to chat as a partnership, and they get into their innings.
And they might be a little bit cock-a-hoop too, knowing they've got their highest score of the tournament. And it's a reasonable score too when you consider what other teams have made. When they've batted first, 135, it look okay. Mind you, if you take away the contributions of the last two, there's not much to write home about. The bowling in general up to then by the Afghan Eagles was excellent. And this is Lockman Tuakal. He's regained full fitness after yesterday. Another tall man operating from the northern end. And this is driven into the offside, sliced away, didn't have complete control of it. Does it make its way to the boundary? It's kept in, 3 players in pursuit, knocked back in, and they manage to get a couple of runs. Didn't quite get all of it, but got enough of it to clear the infield.
Yeah, quite right. Doesn't quite get right up and under that. It was a good
Make
piece
its
of
way
fielding in the end, saving the boundary.
By Haroon Nadeem. So that's none for 4. Chasing a further 132. Jalil Ahmadzai on strike. And, right through it, not taken cleanly by the wicket-keeper Carnival. Ended up down the leg side after beating him outside the off-stump. It's a bye. None for 5. Good bowling.
Just as that required run rate just starts to climb, you want to keep it in around that 6, 7 runs and over mark if you can. That's very achievable. It starts to get to that 8 or 9 and 10. You need to reel that in a little bit.
That was the issue with the Kiwis. It was around 11 and 12 at stages of their innings, just down the leg side. So another wide on the board, none for 6. No rest for the wicket for Ash Barrow. He's got some turf pitches to look at Berwick, his home ground. Not too far away from here, a little bit later on today. He loves it though, the great man.
Yeah, umpire, wickets.
Looks after a number of body corporates in regard to maintenance.
Also rides a Harley Davidson motorcycle too.
Does he really?
Yeah. In fact, I did some commentary up in Mackay, which is getting to far north Queensland, and he rode his Harley up there from Melbourne.
Wow.
3 stops. A lot of kilometres.
A lot of kilometres. None for 7. You ever driven or ridden a motorcycle?
Yeah, well, yes, only up. It was called a dirt track bike.
No, I've never been on one before. I haven't had the guts to be honest. Wide of the off stump. Just a slip in place and deep point. Short cover. Extra cover. Mid off, mid on. And they've elected the 2 men out at deep mid wicket. And a very squarish, fine leg. Short third man, of course, there too. None for 7. Lockman Tawakal continuing it. Long striding. And wide of the off stump. Bowling on line though.
Seems fairly quiet out there, everyone going about their game and not a lot of chat. Probably requires someone to take a great catch or top wicket or something just to get some energy going in the Kangaroos team.
Well, they should have some energy after the fight back at the end. Lockman Tarkwell again. He tried to go down the ground and flat bat that over the head of Tarkwell, who has been pinned for a wide. It was a very ambitious shot. Poor shot, really. Agricultural swipe, which didn't work for Jalil Ahmadzai. This is an interesting old over. 2. 1 leg by, wide. Another leg by. Dot, dot, wide.
It's what we call a mixed bag, Dan.
We do. The Forrest Gump box of chocolates. Here's tower call again online and pinned in the crease and pushed into the onside. And there's no run, so I've had 2 overs. And a steady start, but not really getting a true indication of where this match is headed. With a reasonable task in front of them, the Afghan Leopards letting it slip a bit with that last wicket partnership, but that's the beauty of cricket. You just never know, as Grant said. Can drive you mad, that last wicket partnership. When it gets like that and you're out in the field and this last wicket partnership's dragging on and on and on, what do you do when you know the energy levels are starting to slip? When you've got a team on toast and you just can't remove the last 2.
Well, I can say right up front that it's one of the most frustrating scenarios in cricket, and particularly when you're captain.
This is wide of the off stump. Do you run out of ideas internally?
Well, you just go back to process. You go back to the bowlers that you think are in form, the bowlers that you may have earmarked to be, the death bowlers, and just go back to process into plans. Okay, how do we best bowl? What's got us to this position? How do we best bowl to these guys? And try and set fields for maybe sometimes they're a little bit unconventional. Look at something different and to see it, but sometimes nothing works, to be honest. You think you just can't find the answers to this, and sometimes they're just not there.
Here's if you can't again. This is wide of the off stump, and that'll be 5 wides. That was as wide down the leg side. Not off stump, I meant leg side. And not much Carnival could do about that. It was a good effort to get across to try and take it, but he really didn't have much chance. So very wide indeed and wild.
Yeah, he gave the keeper pretty much no chance there. Stayed in his fingers too long. That comes down to a lot down to release point. If you're releasing it too late, then that's exactly what can happen.
This is in the air, the spoon shot. It's gone over the head of the fielder who was in the circle, and it's gone to the boundary for 4. Haroon was there.
Yeah, look at that. Nice safe shot down the ground. Didn't quite get it all, but enough, as Dan said, to clear the infield.
Mishra, probably the key player in this team. Playing, as I mentioned, with the improving Hawthorn Monash Hawks, or Hawthorn Kingston Hawks, who've struggled for a long time in Premier Cricket. Wide of the off stump. Just couldn't control the swing. Another wide. None for 17 in the 3rd over.
Have there been a lot of mergers of teams, Dan?
Down here there has been, yes.
Hawthorn Monash and...
Well, they were Hawthorn East Melbourne forever.
Hawthorn East Melbourne, right?
Yeah, Bob Cowper played for them.
Oh, yeah.
Graham Matthews, who played some state cricket in the 70s.
Yep.
And they were Hawthorn Waverley when Waverley were taken over by Dandenong.
Okay.
This is driven. It was in the air and it was almost well stopped by the deep cover fielder. It sounded crisp off the bat, a little bit wide of the off stump, but Mishra survives, and it's none for 19 in the 3rd over. Greenvale Kangaroos, which were North Melbourne. Collingwood became the Camberwell Magpies. And Footscray Edgewater, the Bulldogs, who they're called Edgewater because they're We've got an association with Victoria Uni in Footscray, and there's a new housing estate at the back called Edgewater. That's where the grounds are.
There you go.
Named after two greats, Mervyn Gregory Hughes and Tony Dolomite. Slicing shot over backward point, but enough control again to pitch in front of the fielder. Looking a bit dangerous, leave it. They're getting runs, those balls are sort of short and wide.
And what's good news is that we haven't lost a wicket yet
No.
in the Leopards innings.
And up in Queensland, a couple of your clubs have merged, haven't they? But that's about it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just East Redlands.
Yes.
Can't think of any others, actually. Ipswich came into the competition a decade or so ago.
And this is down the leg side and swivelling on the crease. And I think he got some bat. No, he hasn't. It's leg byes coming off the thigh pad. They all count, though. None for 23 in the third over. So the runs are coming.
Ibby might be just trying a little too hard here because we're just not seeing consistency of line of length.
Or control, are we?
Let's see if he can come back here. Something around off stump. He does. Look what happens when you bowl in that channel.
Beats him all ends up. And that completes 3 overs. So it's none for 23. Current run rate just under 8. The run rate required 6.52. They need 112 of 103 balls. Still think that is very gettable, particularly while Prabhav Mishra is at the crease, as we've spoken about, one of their key players. Jaika Singh's a good player as well. If these two can get them away, puts them in a position to set things up. Ash Barrow's having a chat. What's going on here? Is he telling him to get on with it? It did take a long time to get going at the start of an over. Beat outside the off stump, but wide. Must have just been wide. The replay will tell us a little bit more, Grant. Also, they've been consistent. I mean, they're excellent umpires, we know that. Just that surprised me a bit, that's all. So the slip's still in place for Tawakul. This is flicked away, and there's a lot of vacant territory where that was in the air, through mid-wicket, out to deep mid-wicket. Nonchalant flick off the hip really then from
Mishra.
Yes. And Ahmedzai moves to 4, and Mishra now getting an opportunity to have a look at where he can make some runs. So there's a stacked offside field of point, cover point, extra cover. It's pretty deep. Mid-off. There's enough gaps there, though, if he gets one that's over-pitched for that lovely cover drive that we saw a bit on Monday, to be exploited by this talented opener. Tawakul in. That is smashed away. Sounded good off the bat, but even though mid-on's pretty deep, he hits it straight to him and can't score.
And even though mid-on's the only person within Cooey on the onside, really, there's another man sweeping on deep mid-wicket and a backward square, and that's where you got to stop finding that fielder. There's acres of room.
There is.
Just to drop that, you can drop it 10 metres beside the umpire and get through for some runs, maybe even 2.
Probably hit a bit too hard, wasn't it?
Did. Ooh.
That took off as he was trying to either get a top edge, an intended top edge over the head of the keeper, or swap that away into vacant territory on the onside as we've spoken about. But he missed it. Quicker bouncer. Well bowled.
I feel like I might have gone through the top a little bit, that one. I think we're preparing the next wicket along for the finals
Yeah, we are.
tomorrow and Monday.
None for 25. And we know that the 4 semi-finalists will be the Lincoln Lions, Afghanistan Eagles, Pakistan Sultans and Indian Tigers, but who they play, not known at this stage. Now that is whacked down the ground, and that'll be a handy boundary. Beautiful shot. Long on was 2 forward, and that, as you say, Grant, is hitting it where the fielder ain't.
Yep. Yep. Have the confidence to clear the mid-on.
Standing and delivering. None for 25 in the 4th over. Got underneath that. Just was in the hitting zone for him. He's in again, and he this time slices it to a stacked offside field. And they come back for 2. The return was a shocker because he hit the back of his teammate. An absolute Barry Crocker. And it's none for 35.
Come on, Dan, say what you really think about that throw.
Oh, well, it was... I mean, I've done things like that too, but yeah, it just wasn't great from Najula into the back of his teammate. Hopefully he's all right. He seems to be still upright out in the field. This is the 4th over. And Mishra's 11. Jalil Ahmadzai 4. He's almost cut in half, got him high up around the thigh pad region. And good bowling, good fight back. So 4 overs gone. Tawakul's figures none for 12. And we are in game 11. One more of the pool matches to go. Crucial one, of course, to decide top spot in Pool A. The big guns, Pakistan and India. I'll ask you the same question, Grant, that I was asked by Suhas. The Lincoln Lions good enough to win it, or their batting not quite good enough?
Well, as you're alluding, I think their bowling is definitely their strength. So if the batters can just cobble together, something respectable, they'll back themselves to defend it. I think what they'll do if they win the toss, I think they're the type of team that will probably bat first, post some sort of total and go, righto, we're going to defend this total through very good bowling and really good fielding.
Haven't got anyone get more than 30 in the tournament yet. This is as wide as, again, I thought we hadn't seen anything more wider than the previous over from Big Ebby, but that is taking the cake and going to the next level from Haroon, who comes into the attack and he bowls a very loose delivery.
Yep, I think that just basically slipped through his fingers. He had a bit of a leg cutting action, get it down there around that off stump and just got away from him.
4 overs have taken 25 minutes so far. A bit better than yesterday. Haroon bowls. Again, that's down the leg side and it's called a wide. They've got fine leg, very fine now. It's almost like a deep backstop, a term we haven't used in cricket for a long time, Grant. Just while Haroon settles in here. They've got it down 100 already, required, and there hasn't been a lot off the bat. 15 runs off the bat, and we've already had of the 37 runs, 22 extras. Haroon in again, bowls. It's on the leg stump. He gets the toe end of the bat there. Enforcing that away on the onside. Did he get any toe end at all? He just wants to check for a no ball here. Which means if this is a no ball, it'll be a free hit, and we still haven't had a legitimate ball yet. Kick off the 5th over.
Yeah, we saw the Leopards peel off 30 sundries as well. So
cost them dearly, didn't it?
It looks like they're going to cancel each other out here for sundries.
As Jim Maxwell would say, Xavier Trask could top score yet. Ex-Trask.
Checking the no ball.
Even though, as we've already spoken about this with the technology, if you're not sure, you just let it go. Because we're already miles behind.
They've called a no ball.
Right.
So here's a free hit. Fast becoming my least enjoyable part of the game. There you go. That's a good call, boys. That was definitely a no ball. Good work, team, production team.
I thought a couple of times, if he can't in particular early in his innings, was trying to just hit the ball on its merits. Didn't try and hit it too hard.
Let's take a look at the free hit.
Yep. From the free hit that he received. Let's see how Mishra, who we know is a good player, attacks this free hit. Plenty of opportunities on the onside. He comes across, he stumps, and he swings it high, long, and handsomely, and Grant is delighted because he found a way to get a 6.
Well done. He walked across his stumps. The bowler bowled right in the slot, and he parried it around for 6. Let's have a look at it. If he missed, it was going to hit middle stump, but he hit it for 6. That's one of the first we've seen in the tournament off a free hit.
That's a great shot. I mean, the balance was unbelievable. He's right across his stumps.
Very good.
His eye, so good to be able to connect like he did, and it just sails away just near the scoreboard there, deep backward square. None for 45 in the 5th. They're making a good start here. Mishra's got 17. His first legal ball of his spell, and it's flicked down towards fine leg.
What have we had? 4 wides wide, no ball, 6, 1.
Yeah. It's a good start, isn't it? Current run rate 10.62, run rate required 5.68. $89 needed. This is hit firmly. They think about a run. He did well to stop that in the covers. Took the pace of it. He deserved a boundary. That was hit so well.
Mishra, he just a couple of steps down there and no, and turned his back on his mate after the misfield. There's another saying, don't run on a misfield, and maybe he was applying that theory.
Shuffle Brothers used to do that a bit. Yes, no, maybe, and another word when they made their way back to the pavilion, especially from older brother. Here's Arun, and he didn't really move his feet, just hung the bat out then, looking to go for an expansive drive, did Jalil Ahmadzai, but misses. None for 46 as we approach the end of the 5th over. ERS, one of our sponsors, great to have them on board. He's a wonderful sponsor of this tournament. See him every year, whether it be the senior tournament or the under-19 tournament, which Suhas and I discussed a bit earlier. Hopefully we keep it as is until it continues to develop.
You see some of the Pakistan players coming in.
Haroon bowls again and doesn't score as he He's on the back foot and cutting it away into the covers. So still one ball remaining in this over. So far I've had 9 deliveries, 5 of them legal. We're in the 5th over.
Doesn't do much for the over rate, does it, Dan?
No. Haroon bowls again, and that's a good delivery. He was unsure whether he should maybe try and work that down fine. Third man is square, or even let it go outside the off stump. He got on the back foot and it was more like a nothing shot then.
So after 5 overs, no wicket for 46. And your win viz, I think you had
60-40 Kangaroos.
You were 60-40. Is the dial shifting for you, Dan?
55-45.
Oh, it's shifted.
Yeah, there's no caveat either.
No caveat?
No caveat on my win viz.
No, fair enough.
It doesn't operate with a caveat.
No caveat, right? 55-45. It's shifting. So the dial's shifting in favour of the Leopards by the looks.
At the moment. All right. None for 14 from Haroon Nadeem's opening over. As we reach the 6th over of the innings. Another bowler with a long run-up. What's new in the Sydney Kangaroos lineup?
They should be watching. I think they should be taking notes from Bumrah.
Yeah.
Dan, you know, there's a one of the best fast bowler in the world, can generate speed. He's obviously very strong.
I do worry about the permanent damage that could be done to his shoulder or rotator cuff down the track, Grant. But anyway, he knows what he's doing. We've all got different styles that works for different people, and his works magnificently. Playing from the crease, Mishra chops it out to point. No run. And Lockman Tarakal will continue with his figures at none for 12 after 2. No slip now. Short third man, backward point, cover point, extra cover. Are they swapping extra cover and mid-off? They are. Mid-wicket, backward square, deep mid-wicket. This is down the leg side, and it's called a wide. He's angry with himself, Mishra. He missed out. He was trying to get a decent piece on that and get it down towards the boundary. But he missed it, taken cleanly by Carnival, the wicket-keeper. Another extra. Up to 25 now, Grant. Clearly the highest scorer.
Gee.
Current run rate at 9.10. Early stages, 6th over. Further 88 needed. He pulls the next one. Gets it past short straight mid-wicket. Down to long on. Swivelled nicely in the crease and got a decent piece of that along the carpet. Here's Tarakal once more. And again down the leg side. Thought they might have touched the shirt or the thigh pad. No, says umpire Ash Barrow. Yet another wide. Ahmedzai has faced a lot of deliveries and made just 4 runs. Doesn't have to worry too much because the runs are coming. None for 49 in the 6th. Saeem Raza comes across offering support to his charge, knowing that it's been a tough initiation. Again, Tarakal bowls and he slices the next one, which will clear the infield through backward point and find the boundary. Ran away from the two fielders.
Let's take a look at the replay. Outside off stump, just short of a length. Width was what supported the batter's stroke play there.
And even though it was in the air for a long time, it was reasonably well controlled, I thought. 8 runs now to Ahmedzai. 8 off 19 and Mishra 19 off 15.
And the current run rate is approaching 10 now, which is very, very good for the Leopards. And no wicket. That's the 50-run opening partnership.
Haven't had too many of those, have we? This is defended from the crease. Short of a length, back to the bowler. That was a good comeback delivery by Lockman. It's where a lot of teams have got themselves into trouble, Grant, haven't they? They're just losing wickets early.
Yeah, and this is a really good chase so far. Let me not put the curse on them.
We've done that a lot too. Ahmedzai ready for Lockman again, and he's beaten outside the off stump. Didn't have his foot to the pitch. His head was in the air. He was, I think, looking to maybe loft that over the bowler's head.
Yeah, you can almost see his eyes light up from here, thinking, I've got plenty of room over the top of this infield. In fact, I can't see a sweeper on the offside.
Well, mid-off's up in the circle too, so that helps. And the other issue too, if he gets it straight, long on's a bit squarer than he would normally be for the traditional mid-on or long on position. Lockman in again, and it's down the leg side. That's a wide. He's saying, what about maybe a little snick? And umpire Barrow said no. And then he said it could have, well, if it's brushed the thigh pad or brushed any part of his clothing or apparel, it can't be a wide, can it? Or can it?
No, I wouldn't be calling it a wide if it's actually brushed.
No.
But let's have a look. So we've had a dot wide 1, wide 4, dot wide. Only 1 runs. If I was Taraka's coach, I'd ask him to be. See, he runs through the crease, so there's no leap. He's running just through the crease.
And this is magnificently driven, a beautiful cover drive. And there is a short cover fielder there. He didn't even bother. He did not even bother. That was driven between him and the mid-off fielder who just went and collected it. That's a sensational shot. And we might have seen the shot of the tournament so far in regard to pure cricket shots from Jalil Ahmedzai, Grant.
And it wasn't short of a length until he took a couple of steps down the wicket and then turned that into more of a half volley. So good use of the feet as he went down the crease to actually strike that. Power play, end of the power play.
None for 58 after 6 overs. Suhas is getting ready to come in. Grant will stay in. I'll come out for a rest and join Suhas a little bit later on.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. My fault, mate.
Kashif into the attack. Just tucked off his toes there for a single. And it's a nice start, isn't it? 77 runs down. Current run rate, nearly 10. None for 59. 12 of 22 for Jalil and Mishra, 20 off 16. But Sundries has been the enemy for the Kangaroos. Swing and a miss outside off stump, well bowled, good line.
I remember that. He's functionally right up. And smooth as a bit of boot was assessed about.
Down the ground, couple of bounces. And it sort of plugs in that outfield there. Picked up by the man running around from long off. Cash.
Did really well. With the bat in hand. Can he translate that confidence into his bowling?
Oh, down leg.
Superb collect.
Caught wide.
Mohammad Kashif definitely needs to thank the keeper here. Otherwise his figures would have gone for a toss.
Yes, that could have been 5 wides.
But Kashif knows that if he's bowling at some runs over here as cushion, that's because he scored them too. The confidence is there. That is a cracking hit. Swivels to perfection, Prabhav Mishra, and shows once again why he is one of the best in the business.
Yes, that was all timing. Just waited on this. Drag short. But it wasn't even that short really. It was just beautifully picked up over the onside for 4.
He's such a good reader of the length, isn't he, Grant?
Yeah, got onto that very quickly. It was only just short of a length. And that's full this time.
Should be taken all on the bounce. Was interested in taking that catch initially though.
Yeah, it was just not quite, didn't quite catch it. Had he hit it a little bit more cleanly, that would have gone straight to the fielder there, long on. And we talk about fortuitous mishits, and that was certainly one of them. In the air. It's going to fall safely again. Right in the middle, and yeah.
Surprised they didn't go for the run here.
Cash is very disappointed because that's twice in a row now the ball has just fallen short of a fieldsman. And the luck that comes or deserts you from time to time in cricket.
7 overs gone, 66 for no loss. How many extras have they bowled?
It's close to 30, 28, there you go.
28 already.
Oh, 28 already.
In the first 7 overs, 28 extras. Are you kidding? Wide 4 या no ball भी
सब कुछ है अपना वाइज हो गया लेग वाइज हो गया वाइड हो गया नो बॉल हटा दो ऐसे तो उन्होंने 38 रन मारे हैं 7 ओवर में 30 नहीं 25 में 30
Damon Bra into the attack from the northern end. Don't think that went exactly where he was aiming, but along the ground all the way out to Dib mid-wicket for a run.
Quick fire 26 from Prabhav Mishra has also helped in reducing the required rate to a manageable 5.3, apart from all the extras that have been given away by the Kangaroos.
Yeah, it's certainly hard to get some momentum in your innings where you're keeping the batting fairly well in check, but the sundries are really hurting you. was in the air for some time then and landed just wide of the fieldsman. Square card through. Look for just a single. Sweeper comes around, picks up nicely. Good fielding.
Soft hands. Prabha wanted that single. Jalil said no, and rightfully so. Good over from Daman Brar so far. If he can close this out with a dot ball or a single, he'll be quite content. Four runs of the over there. Simply superb from Daman Brar. 8 overs gone, 70 for no loss. $70 for no loss, the Leopards. Another poor delivery, and that's also running away quickly. There is a fielder eventually who will get around it. Naji. 2 more runs added without a ball being counted. The Kangaroos have been all over the place. Well, that's what you expect in Australia, don't you?
They are. They're all over the place. You can see them anywhere.
No, with their bowling effort, you need to be more disciplined.
They appear on quite a few golf courses.
Kangaroos in the golf course, nice.
Yep.
Have they perfected their golf swing at least?
No.
No?
No. Their front paws aren't quite long enough. But what do you remember I told you?
I know you're coming there.
About
I know.
our coat of arms with the kangaroo and the emu. About what did I remember? I told you about those two animals.
Yeah, you told me.
What's
that
special
these
about
are
them?
what's special about them is that they can't go backwards.
Ah, good job.
And that's why they have them in the emblem, right?
Good job, Suas. You remembered.
Yes, I do. Should be taken. And finally, the wicket has come by. Mohammad Kashif. He's got a reason to smile. And it's one of the most innocuous deliveries that's got rid of Prabhav Mishra.
And Suas has given me reason to smile because he remembered what I said to him about our coat of arms some time ago too. Oh, the benefits of being young, youth. Memory stays with you. And that's the first wicket to fall. It was a nice little opening stand, 72. In fact, I think that might be close to the highest opening stand of the tournament so far. The Afghan Eagles, we saw Jude Owen get away to a flyer yesterday. 46 off 15 deliveries, and there was a catch just taken just in front of long off, which was a game changer in the end because it nearly went for 6, so it would have been a 16 ball 50, but the catch was taken and there was a big shift, a big swing in that game, which eventually saw a loss for the Afghan Eagles. Kashish back into the attack from the southern end. Off to mark early, our new batter. Always a good feeling. Get off that mark. Number 56. Ahmed. Syed Ahmed.
Batsman name.
Syed Shaneen Ahmed. Flicked down the leg side, down the fine leg. And make sure of it. One bounce throw, 1 run. 2 balls remaining in the over.
A lot of extras given away by the Kangaroos, and that's what has reduced the equation to 61 from 68. There's no need to take undue risk for Afghanistan Leopards. A couple of good partnerships and they can get there. That's why Mohammad Kashif knows he has to work extra hard for the wickets here.
Ooh,
Oh, this one kept a little low. Big appeal.
No.
Gone. Give
That.
it.
He hit that. I'm sorry. They could hear the sound of that from here, and he's asked for a review. And no, there's no review for out, which is a shame because he definitely hit that. It was a very woody sound. Anyway, we'll have a look at the replay. But
Well, if a keeper says that hit, then I got to agree. Isn't it, Grant?
yes, there was a very woody sound. He's looking at his bat quite rightly. Well, may not see it from the back here. You can't really see it from there either, but Hotspot or Snicko or some of that thermal technology would have picked that up. Anyway, sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't.
Double blow provided by Kashif. Bringing the Leopards back into this, the Kangaroos rather, back into this game. Do the Kangaroos have good memory?
I'm not sure the study research gone into that one.
They remember to punch you back, that much I know.
The animals that do, by all accounts.
Elephant.
Elephant. We don't have that many elephants in Australia.
Australia,
Yeah, but the one that does is the magpie. It remembers you.
The
and
bird.
The bird. Because during magpie season, I don't know if you've heard of this in September, they can be quite vicious. They attack you by protecting their babies.
Oh, we've got tree pies in India. We don't have magpies.
Tree pies.
Yeah, we have tree pies in India.
What colour are they?
They are brownish. They have brownish feathers.
Okay. Do
At
they attack you?
But they're pretty good. They have a very sore call. 75 for 2.
Well, these magpies, these black and white ones, but only at a certain time of the year. They attack, and they can be quite vicious. And they, in fact,
I just love the fact that our commentary skips from zoology to English to Shakespeare
yeah, very
to general knowledge, and then there's some cricket in between.
mixed bag, real mixed bag.
Expect.
Cricket will always come first.
Indeed.
Just got a bowling change.
It's one of the reasons that I absolutely love coming to Australia. There's just so much to learn every time.
Now you're learning a lot about cyclones,
Yes, I am.
and no, you're not going to be attacked by a cyclone.
You're making sure.
No, Brisbane's a long way away, but
Indeed. .65. But if the wickets keep chipping away, then the Leopards will be in trouble. And what do they say about the Leopards?
They never change their spots, I know that one.
Correct, but they can be in a spot of bother.
Can we, yep.
The Tigers can't change their stripes, Leopards can't change their spot. What about the Kangaroos?
Kangaroos.
They can't accommodate other Joeys.
Yeah, well, and what's a young kangaroo called?
Joey.
Correct. And is a wallaby related to the kangaroo?
I don't know, I hope not. Can the Kangaroos adopt? I don't know. You remember, right? My second tour to Australia, I was so itchy to see a kangaroo. I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, I was on a drive with Dan Lonergan from the city, CBD, to one of the places, I think Cranbourne, and then he used to tell me, this is the road.
Did you have some white knuckles? You like this white knuckles because you're holding on to it?
No, he's a good driver, don't worry about it. This should be an easy catch. And the Kangaroos will pouch it.
And that's the third wicket to go down. Skied the ball in the air, got under it too much. Went quite away in the air, so it was a good catch. Nicely taken in there, nice, very comfortable. That's out. So, sorry, Suresh, but you're on the way to a kangaroo viewing, yeah, with Dan.
75 for 3, and in walks the new batter. So no, I wasn't. I was coming to the ground actually.
Right.
And suddenly, to make matters worse, I was telling Dan that I haven't seen a kangaroo yet, not a single kangaroo, ever since I landed in Australia. It's been 2 tours put together.
Yep.
And he told me, I don't know if it's any kind of consolation, but the road that you're driving on right now, this is where I saw 2 of them last night, 3 of them here last morning, just to make me feel a little unlucky.
So, okay, so you have now seen a kangaroo?
Now I have, of course. Then I went to a reserve.
What'd you think?
Oh, they're not ferocious, like you mentioned.
No,
they are.
No, well, they can fight. We do have boxing kangaroos.
I didn't encounter one.
And what they do is when they're fighting against each other, they get up on their tail and kick out with their claws.
That's a cool move.
Yeah, it's a cool move.
As a wrestling fan, I should say that's a very cool move. So when you feel a little bored, do you fancy a bout?
No.
No? Okay.
No, leave them alone.
Okay.
I've won every fight I've had by 50 metres, Suresh.
Okay.
Oh, gee.
2 new men at the crease for the Leopards. And the Kangaroos are fighting back after 3 dot deliveries of wicket. What an over from Daman Brar.
The worst in regard to kangaroos is when they hit your car and cause an enormous amount of damage. It's happened to me a few times. That's when it's white knuckling Grant O'Hara in regard to driving with me. 3 for 76, 59 required. And they've turned the whiz-viz, or the wind-viz around. It's 60-40 in favour of the Kangaroos now as far as I'm concerned. 3 quick wickets. As soon as Mishra went out, who was going really well, and it's taken a long time again to bowl these overs. We've been going for an hour and they've bowled 10. And Ash Barrow's having a chat here to his fellow umpire about who's bowling, about why it's taking so long to bowl, I would have thought. I'm musing a little bit here, but the discussion between the umpires isn't helping either. And we've just realised too that it's going to put the big game, the feature game of the day, the marquee game, obviously not in jeopardy. We'll get the game in, but it just means we're going to have to really have a quick turnaround as soon as this match is complete, which is still a fair bit of work to be done by both teams. 59 needed in 60 balls. And here's Tarwickle, who's going to complete his spell with his final over. He bowled 3 from the northern end. He's now at our end. And Yorker links ball that's dug out, beats the fielder at short straight mid wicket, and they get an important run. Mahadev, the wicket keeper, has 2. With him is Jaika Singh, who's a key member now after those 3 wickets fell. And it's 3 for 77 as we're now in the 11th over. Suhas is around somewhere.
Not too far away, don't worry.
And beats him outside the off stump. He landed that without moving his feet. We've seen a little bit of that. He's got the honey going. He's got all sorts of things going. He's a bit butcher's hook, as we said a bit earlier. Crook. Or ill. Or sick. But he's hanging in there. He's got honey. You know, we put honey on bread. But he's putting it with his drink to get his throat right. But a lot of cricket to be called over the next few days at the ACL Under-19 Championships.
Reveal my secret to staying alive.
Good song that too.
Is it?
Tarwickle, the Bee Gees. Haven't you heard that song? I know you went around then back in 1978 in the disco era. It's one of the greatest songs of all time.
3 minutes. I think 3 minutes.
Staying alive, staying alive. I don't have the high falsetto voice like the great Barry Gibb does. Oh, massive, yes.
Okay.
Massive.
Okay. Well done.
Might have the highest falsetto voice as far as males are concerned in the history of music. It's a big call by me. And here's Lockman Tarwickle. It's taken nearly 70 minutes to bowl 11 overs.
The Kangaroos usually take longer than that.
Yeah, well,
Bowled 7 overs, let alone 11.
I was talking to Harry before. He couldn't believe the time. It's just 20 past 4 local time, and he didn't know. Obviously, he's had things on this afternoon. He's a busy man. The extra runs came up from the 2 tail enders for the Kangaroos when they were 9 for 93 when I was last on air in that match, or in that innings, I should say. And then, of course, they got to 134. They played out their overs. They took the required time for the break. We're not going to have that luxury for the next game, which is the big one, Pakistan and India, to decide who finishes top in Pool A. And then we're going to have a bit of a concern, aren't we? I dare say the team that bowls second, Suhas, may be disadvantaged by what they can do in regard to their bowling. If they're going to use their pace bowlers, they might have to use them early.
Yes, because of the light.
Yes.
I would say the batting team, the team batting second, would also be in trouble. Because even if it's a spinner bowling, you need to see the ball.
Yeah, correct.
And the spinners are bowling quicker these days.
They are. But I think you prefer the spinners and the pace in the fading light. Tarwickle manages to steer that cleverly down to third man. Tarwickle bowls a delivery that is steered down to third man. And it's 3 for 79. 11 overs gone. 56 required from 54 balls.
We're 3 hours into this game and there's still 9 more overs to go.
Yeah.
56 to get in 54. The game is under control as far as the Leopards are concerned. And that begs the question, why aren't Kangaroos targeting the stumps a little more? Because that's how you make the batter a candidate for LBW. You keep other options open of getting a bowled.
I've actually got the Kangaroos in front in the Winviz.
Do you?
So I just worry about the lack of depth in the... We've seen it in the Leopards batting. It hasn't been outstanding. Their performances overall have been better. They'd be disappointed they allow those late runs to seep. Now that's a lovely little lap shot coming across his stumps. Bit of class there by Mahadev, and the wicketkeeper has to do the work. That's good hustling and bustling by Carnival. They come back for 2 because there was no one at fine leg. So he was on his Pat Malone there, having to chase after that one. 3 for 81 in the 12th over. This is Damien Bra in the attack. He's bowled pretty well. He's third over. His figures 1 for 7. He's managed to curtail the runs and also the extras. Lovely square drive. Poor piece of fielding. Nutmegged. And they come back for 2. They do. I don't think he took it cleanly, Carnival, despite disturbing the bails.
Had Carnival taken it cleanly, I think it would have been a goner.
Yes, I agree with you.
Miles away.
Misfield there by Aish Dewan at backward point.
He did miss it on that occasion.
That's a beautiful shot. And will it be stopped? It is magnificently stopped. It beat the cover fielder. It went like a tracer bullet. And I thought it was going to go to the boundary. It was hit that well and hit with so much speed. But the extra cover fielder in the deep did a magnificent job to stop that. Good fielding. 3 for 85. Mahadev on 9, going well here. And on this occasion, though, takes the bottom of the bat.
Yeah, clear bat and bad.
Yeah. Playing some lovely drives at the moment, the wicketkeeper, Mahadev. Good to watch. Just the classic cricket shots. 2 fielders out in the deep. This is driven down the ground. He tried to stop it with his boot. Bra. Luckily, there's a man at long off who stops it from going for a boundary when it probably deserved more than that. Another magnificent shot along the ground. Cover driving. Straight driving, a feature of the batting of Bar rather than Mahadev. Gives it air, turns it into a full toss, does Jaika Singh, and scores his second run also down to long off. Runs coming easily in this over. 3 for 87 after 12, so they need a runner ball. 48 of 48, maybe it's 50-50 now. What do you think, Suhas?
I think the Afghan Leopards are ahead. A run
Do you?
of 48 should be made. Despite the lack in depth of batting, as Grant was mentioning. They need to do something really off to lose it from here. It's Afghan Leopards' game to win. The Kangaroos, well, they might need to come back in with a couple of wickets, not just one.
Well, they took 3 very quickly once Mishra went out. I mean, the number of extras could cost them dearly. We know that the Leopards, I think, they go by 30 extras. And we've seen more than 30 already from the Kangaroos. Here's our man Ivy. He batted well. Be back in the attack after 2 overs, none for 13. I don't think he needs to worry about a practice ball, particularly when they're miles behind. This is pulled away. It's a short delivery. They've got 2 fielders protecting the deep. Forward, square leg and mid-wicket. And they only get 1. Hooked it nicely. Jaika Singh has got 3. Mahadev about to face. We're in the 13th over. Now, I believe you wanted to know a little bit about Kerry O'Keefe. Little birdie told me. If he can't bowls, and he didn't move his feet then, as he was looking maybe to try and work that very fine with third man square. Mahadev played all over the top of it.
Yes, I realise that you've worked with the great man, Kerry O'Keefe.
I've worked with him, yes, many times. He's one of the funniest men. He's also one of the most knowledgeable men when it comes to cricket. He knows everything about the game.
You two in the com box would have been a great ride for the listeners. Good fun.
Oh, wow, I mean, I was, what's the word? I just did my job, to be honest. What a good shot that is. Short delivery from Ibi Khan. And, well, he just played with soft hands as he worked it over the wicket-keeper's head with class and magnificent touch. Mahadev, a great shot.
It just helped it on its way. And so much control in that shot as well. It's very demoralizing for a bowler. It's such a shot and a good result for the batter.
Well, you had to be on your toes all the time with Skull, Kerry O'Keefe, because you didn't know where he was going. I mean, with his knowledge of cricket, I could keep up with him a little bit, particularly the history of the game and him as a player, even though he didn't really like talking about that. He didn't attend the dinner for the 40th anniversary of the Centenary Test team in 2017. He'd sort of fallen out with those guys.
This is much better from...
Yes, plays it to point already from that team. There was no David Hooks, of course, who'd passed away. There was no Gary Gilmore and there was no Max Walker, and Kerry wasn't there either. The remaining 8, including Ray Bright, who fielded in both innings because of the injury to Rick McCosker. He was there, but disappointing Kerry didn't turn up. But look, he just knows every player. He does research on every player, whether they're young, whether they're experienced.
Right.
And then he just throws the comedy in. Mind you, he laughs at himself all the time too, so that's the first sign of madness when you laugh at your own jokes.
That's comical too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The laugh itself, it's so much fun. I think the laugh is legendary.
Well, that's right, it's an incredible laugh.
Well, along with the amazing person he is.
You heard I won't tell the joke because I can't remember the whole joke, but the most famous piece of commentary was when he was on with the great Glenn Mitchell, another one of the best commentators that I've ever worked with and ever met and ever known and listened to.
Is something as well that
yeah, Kermit the Jagger, the frog joke.
Let's have the frog joke.
Which I can't remember at all, but it was outstanding. And Glenn, it took most of an over. Glenn was describing each delivery, and he said, "How long is this joke going to go on for?"
94 for 3, 13 overs later. We've got 7 overs if the game goes this far.
For me to tell the frog
Absolutely.
joke. Well, I, as I say, I wouldn't be able to do it justice, unfortunately. The other thing he did too, of course, was eat the chili with the great Harsha Bogley, who Sue Haas would know well. The two of them sound so alike. And even look alike a little bit. Sue Haas is much, much younger than the great Harsha. Again, great respect to Harsha. Discussion between how he's there with the Indians and the Pakistanis, the Sultans and the Tigers, because we know we're going to be running late. The toss now, isn't it?
Yes, it is the toss for the next game.
Which is good. We can get underway. This is given here, and it takes the bottom of the bat. Let's see what's happening here. You'd think it's been won by India.
And what have they decided to do?
We're trying to find out. This is hit high and long. Is it going to be caught? It is caught. While the toss was happening, a wicket's happened here in the middle. And a disappointing dismissal for Mahadev, who was the one most likely. Batting well, 15 off 15, and he's holed out off the bowling of Bra. He's picked up his second wicket. He's been good in his 4th over. This is why spin is important for them. 4 for 95 now in the 14th. So they still need 40. And the current run rate 7.13, run rate required 6. You still think they can get this done, Suhas?
Of course they can with 6 wickets in hand. The Kangaroos are getting themselves back into the game by chipping away the wickets. Now Noorzai.
Yes, he got a couple of wickets, didn't he? Bowled well.
There's some mystery about him as well. Reading his googly is not easy.
So Damon Bra doing a good job.
Zomed Sai, rather. This is Azad Noorzai.
Down to fine leg. Yes, we see got a couple of wickets.
It's a very winnable position. It required rate at 6.1, but the Afghan Leopards, if they don't win it from here, they've got only themselves to blame. Good effort, but that throw was wild. Kashif. Had he not thrown at all, would have been better at this stage.
Fourth.
Single.
4 for 97 and the 14th.
Yeah, the single has been converted into 2.
That once more dropped away into the onside, looking maybe to just curve it in a bit more space to drop and run then. Azad Nurzai at 4 for 97 as we approach the end of the 14th. This is given air and it's driven fluently down to long off. Another run on the board.
So 98 for 4 at the end of 14 overs.
Well, at this stage, they'd lost 9 wickets. The Kangaroos.
Partnership. Come on. 50-run partnership for the last wicket. 51.
Well, that great partnership of over 50, one of the best of the tournament so far, between the last 2 batters, Inibi Khan and Mohammad Rashif. Mohammad Rashif 27 not out, Ibi Khan 24 not out. Saw them make 134, their high score of the tournament so far, and their batting hasn't really been their big issue. 134, 128 and 115, but they're bowling, with India and Pakistan passing those scores comfortably. And they'll have their biggest test very, very shortly. This is played into the onside at the start of a new over.
A while ago we were showing you the toss on the sidelines for the Indian Tigers versus the Pakistani Sultans games. That is going to be box office, and the news from the sideline is that Indian Tigers have won the toss and they've decided to field first and to accommodate the dying light towards the end as the sunset doesn't wait for anything else. We're going to keep this shot as a 16-over game and not a 20-over game.
16 overs.
16 overs aside. That's still a good game.
Yes.
That truncated format is going to give us some more exciting moments, I believe, because these are 2 heavyweights clashing against each other.
Is it a bit disappointing that the 2 heavyweights don't get the full 20 overs?
A little bit, but just think about it. Now that it's curtailed, and we know that it's going to be curtailed for both the sides from the beginning
Correct.
itself.
Yeah. Well, that's got to be an overall, doesn't it? That's above waist high. Mohammed Kashif. That's good. That is, yes.
But Kashif is also right in his regard. He is suggesting, look how far the batter came. He's meeting the ball before it dips down.
Ash Barrow's called it, though. You do not argue with the great man. He is
That is true.
very definitive in his views.
And it's a free hit.
4 for 98. That's the lost in space danger Will Robinson sound for the free hit. So 4 for 99. Free hit here now. Can he use it properly? He manages to clear the infield. Topping it away and it goes to the boundary for 4. Where are you, Grant O'Hara? You'll be happy with that. That's a boundary.
Granted.
Again, he didn't hit it too hard or try to hit it too hard. He didn't get it in the middle, but I mean, we've seen all those slice shots over the infield on the offside, and generally they've come off. On that occasion, he had nothing to lose, knowing that he wasn't going to lose his wicket if he was caught. So it's 4 for 103 in the 15th over.
Is there a slower delivery coming up? No, he's going full throttle.
Driven to deep cover and hit well by Azad Nurzai. Jaka Singh batted well, as I say, earlier in the tournament, and he's very important now to maybe try and anchor them home. You might be right in regard to this match being the Leopards to lose.
This match also turning a little bit into a marathon and not a match anymore, is what the word is.
Correct. It's driven into the covers.
Take their own sweet time to bowl the allotted overs. So much so that the repercussions are spilled over into the next match.
Well, they would have been told, wouldn't have they, get on with it? Come up with a way of bowling your overs quicker. And they haven't really heeded to that, have they? I mean, the one spin bowler on their team, Brow, bowl well. Now that has got to be above waist high full toss. It's fallen out of his hand again, and he managed to get some bat on that. And Jaika Singh looks at him. Obviously, he didn't mean it. So
it's another no ball.
Yep. 4 for 106 in the 15th.
This has been a no ball fest.
I think we're around 40 extras now, aren't we?
And it's the highest scorer.
Yeah, Xavier Trass.
Xavier Trass.
Yes, Jim Maxwell's favourite cricketer. One of the greats, Jimmy, still going strong. Round the wicket. And this is hit down the ground with power, precision, authority, and style. Beautiful boundary.
Gosh, got it wrong. This one sat up and asked to be hit, and he's chosen a very good area.
So 4 for 110, 15 overs gone. Yeah, I'm disappointed that we've lost 4 overs, but I understand. We probably get a lot of intent early days, 2 pretty good sides. The Pakistanis having first hit with the Tigers sending them into bat. So Farouk has been the star of the tournament with 2 brilliant half centuries. We'll get a look at him. Early days against the Indian attack. Both have had comfortable wins against these 2 teams that are in their group. Although the Leopards had their moments at times against... They actually were going all right, weren't they? They were 6 for 108, lost 4 for 7. Stopped them from making a much bigger score against the Tigers. New over, keeps low, trying to drag it through the onside. But missing does Jaika Singh. New bowler. Hearing all sorts of things going on here on the on the walkie-talkie. They don't believe in short run-ups, do they? Azan Saeed looks like he's the new bowler here. And nearly draws the edge of Jaika Singh's bat. In fact, it's Naziullah is the bowler.
Can I have the win viz, please, Dan?
Yeah, I think 65-35 the Leopards now. The Kangaroos there for a little while and they lost those 3 wickets in quick succession. What do you make of the 16 overs aside for the last game?
Good.
Yes?
Yep, no problem.
Quick game's a good game?
Yep.
And he tried to play the Kim Hughes down on one knee, cover drive, and he missed. So just outside the off stump. Working away here, Najiullah, to ensure that there are dot balls.
Yeah, I just think if you've got a couple of teams that are going to go into the finals regardless, let's give them a game, get them out there, and save them up for their finals.
We might get some fireworks too. Pakistan batting first. And this is a Yorker length ball that is dug out nicely with plenty of power by Jaika Singh, but straight to long off for another run. 4 for 111, so they need 24 of 26.
Nelson?
Yes, David Shepherd. This clears the cover fielder, lofted over the top, not with a lot of confidence, but it had enough on it from Azad Mirzai, who's putting together a bit of a cameo here, Grant. 14 off 11. Jaika Singh 7 off 13, and it's 4 for 113 now. Last ball of the 16th. Plenty of sunshine now. It's overcast in the morning. Cooler than yesterday. Najiola bowls, and that's a beautiful inside out cover drive to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, good shot. Very nicely played. I think he gets down on one knee here, nearly. Let's take a look. Down on one knee.
Kim Hughes.
Full follow through. Full flurry of the bat. And that's a good shot.
Now, there was a guy in his day that was as talented as anyone.
And I think Wiz have just taken another tick towards the Leopards.
Yeah, 75-25.
It's been a nice measured chase, run chase. Benefited quite a deal by the extras.
What do you think the Kangaroos will learn from this? They haven't learnt about the slow over rates, but in regard to their bowling.
Yeah, I just really probably think that it comes down to old-fashioned line and length.
If he can't last over, wide of the off stump.
Gee, it's really taken off, hasn't it?
He's a long way back, Carnival. He took it well, but it's a good first one. Plenty of pace on that. You're right. It's hit an area where it has flown. 4 for 117. 18 needed. Run rate required 4.7. Current run rate 7.24. Jaika Singh 7 off 14. He's on strike. And he pulls the next one through the onside. Out to the sweeper. Deep forward square. And he's just done his job very quietly, in a very understated manner. 8 off 15. Azad Mirzai 18 off 12. And it's 4 for 118 in the 17th over.
Going to come around the wicket now to the right hander. Try and spear one in perhaps. Aim at that off stump.
Nice little innings this from Mirzai developing. He drives through backward point and no chance, even though he didn't have that many metres to come around for the whitish third man fielder. That was hit with great power and timing. The square drive through backward point. Wonderful shot.
Yeah, got himself set on the angle, didn't he? He might be aiming for a off stump, but that middle and off line and beautifully struck. Majestic.
4 for 122. That's a great word, isn't it?
Majestic it is.
Greg Chappell, Sachin Tendulkar. He drives the next one. Again out towards point. Giving himself some room. Those fielders are pretty deep. There's just a feeling now of disappointment amongst the Kangaroos. Those fielders are deep. Conservative placings.
Nice little cameo. There's 23 off 14. Narazi.
Yeah, lovely. If he can't, to Jaika Singh, who pulls the next one, and it lands with the two fielders who run into each other. There was a fumble, but they come back for two. It just typifies their performance in the field, the Kangaroos. They bowl each other over.
Thought we'd change codes there for a moment, or there might have been a tackle on. Oops.
Yep.
Luckily it didn't ricochet into the boundary.
It would have been disastrous. Just straying on the leg stump and Flicked away with great skill by Jaka Singh, who's moved into double figures, 10 off 16. 4 for 125. He gets a low full toss in the end. He was hoping it would be a Yorker, Ibby. And if that had have hit, he might have been in some trouble, but it didn't.
Really nice one-hand pick up and throw there. Very skillful.
So that completes the over. It completes Ibby Khan's spell. None for 29 from 4. Helped them get to a competitive score of 134 with his 24 not out in that last wicket partnership with his mate Mohammed Kashif, 27 not out. So 3 overs to go, 9 needed. And then 16 overs aside for the Pakistan-India game to complete the pool matches. The winner of that will finish on top in their pool. And that'll decide who Sri Lanka, or the Lankan Lions, or the Afghanistan Eagles, who are first and second in the other pool, will play in the semis tomorrow. Plays across the line here. Jaka Singh, and it wobbles its way along the ground out to mid-wicket. Tried to hit that pretty hard, but 4 for 127 now. 8 required. Najiullah in for his second over. And that good opening stand certainly has helped the Leopards with this run chase. Lovely drive.
There's a cover.
Yeah.
Sweeper cover.
It looked beautiful off the bat. Again, it was travelling so quickly. It beat the fielder in the covers. Nearly took his hand with him. Four for 127.
Fielding.
Yeah, it was a good piece of fielding. They're still up and about, if that's an indication. It nearly got past the fielder and the covers. Again, a cover drive that was from a copybook. I think it's 4 for 128 because Jaka Singh's on strike. We'll just confirm that. 4 for 128. 7 needed. He drives again in the air. Beats the fielder, who may have just got a fingertip to that. They'll look to come back for 2 and they'll comfortably make it. Again, the return was a bit wide.
Yeah, I think the bowler could have got back and maybe done a little bit more with that because he was well short of his ground. But safely through.
4 for 130. 5 needed off 14. For what it's worth, the WinViz 98.2 or 98.5, 1.5. Don't know why I've got 1.5 there. This is pulled away. Might be caught. No, it's on the bounce. Could have taken the catch. Could have come forward. But elected to go for the conservative option.
Because, you know, the cricket still is a funny game. And yes, but I think there's... WinViz is pretty much 100 to 0 now with just 4 to go.
And down the ground has gone for a massive hit to finish it off. And all long off can do is see it sail over his head and head into one of the houses down to that northern end. Great win in the end. Well batted Azad Mirzai, 30 off 16. A terrific cameo. Jaka Singh was there as the anchor, 15 off 21 after they lost 3 wickets in quick succession. After a terrific opening partnership set up, of course, by Mishra. He got a bit of support by Amenzai as well. But the extras grant were the issue. And well done to the Afghan Lions. They win their first game of the tournament and they win by 6 wickets with a couple of overs to spare.
Yep, and you're quite right there. It was a mixed bag from the Kangaroos in the field, particularly when it came to the number of extras that they gave away. We've noticed the teams that are winning these competitions are only giving away sort of around that 13, 14 extras, but when you're giving away 30, I suppose it does come down. Like we actually had the Leopards gave away about 25. We thought that that was advantage to the Kangaroos, and your win viz fluctuated, didn't it? It went from Kangaroos to Leopards, and then as the Leopards retained wickets, it became pretty apparent that they were going to be able to chase these runs down.
1 hour and 35 to bowl 18 overs, and as they normally try and do, they try and get through the 20 overs in 1 hour 15 and 20, but this team doesn't have a lot of spinners either, so it doesn't help them. But the extras, all the wides and no balls, so extra balls had to be bowled. There was 9, 10 ball overs, and the long run-ups didn't help, did it? But anyway, they had their moments at times, the Kangaroos. That last wicket partnership was the highlight today for them with the bat. And their batting was okay in patches, but their bowling was the issue. And for the Afghan Leopards, if they had have made more runs when they was 4 for 7 against India, who knows? I thought they were reasonably competitive throughout the tournament.
Yep. No, as I said during the call, it's a matter of what do you learn from playing this type of cricket, and taking that learning and applying it, and making sure that your cricket just keeps improving and growing. And that's one of the outcomes that we're looking for at ACL under-19, giving young players the opportunity and giving them to grow into the game and enjoy it and play well.
So we'll take a break. We'll be back with the truncated India-Pakistan game, the Sultans against the Tigers. And it's at 16 overs a side because we're a little bit concerned about the light, and it gets a little bit darker earlier now as we're getting towards the end of daylight saving, only a few weeks away from finishing here in Melbourne. 16 overs a side. These two sides will play in the finals. All we need to know is who's going to finish on top. And the team that finishes on top will play the Afghanistan Eagles in one semi-final tomorrow. And the team that finishes second will play the Lincoln Lions, who finished on top in their pool in the other semi-final tomorrow. So we'll be back with that match very shortly. Just before that, I think we might have some figures. We do. The match summary. Mohammad Kashif, 27 of 29. Ibi Khan, 25 of 19 in that great partnership of 50 for the last wicket. And SK 2 for 15 with the ball for the Afghan Leopards. Nurzai 2 for 22 and Jahan Saidi 1 for 20. And for the Afghan Leopards, a great effort at the end by Azad Nurzai, 30 off 16. Mishra 27 of 22 and Jalil Ahmadzai 16 off 34. Good opening partnership between Mishra and Ahmadzai, while Mohammad Kashif 2 for 25 and Damon Brar 2 for 17 with the ball for the Kangaroos. But the Afghan Leopards in the end win by 6 wickets with 2 overs to spare. Back with the Pakistan-India game very shortly.